call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you. I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. There's strength in our blood. You're one of us. You're one of us. We are legendary. We are not ordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. We are legendary. Living extraordinary. We are legendary. You will remember our names. You will remember our names.
Mackey in motion. Renda pumps, has a man all alone inside the 10. That is who else but Blake Gunter, wide open into the end zone for the touchdown.
Brody Knowles double covered, and only where Renda can't throw it to Knowles. What a catch. Unbelievable by Brody Knowles.
Renda and Penn in the backfield. Gunter goes out to the right side. They're going to give it to Penn, plunges into the end zone for the touchdown. So first down, trips to the right. Carroll gets into the backfield, ball's loose. It's still loose at midfield, and let's see who recovered it. Carroll says they have it, and they do. William Chen comes up with the loose ball. Back out into the flat. Renda going to take a deep shot on first down, looking end zone. It is caught inside the 5.
You just watch. This is just practice. Renda just throws the back shoulder of the defensive back, only where Boyd can catch it. Great job turning around, making the play in the end zone. That's how you start the half.
The Dragon offense was at peak form in their decisive victory. The stage is set for a matchup against their division rivals, the Trinity Trojans.
Hey Dragon fans, welcome to the Dragon Football Night pregame show sponsored by Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Now here are your hosts, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton.
From Dragon Stadium in Southlake, it's the top-ranked Carroll Dragons against the 8th-ranked Trinity Trojans. Our broadcast tonight presented by White's Chapel Methodist Church. Hi there and welcome into the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show. I'm Chris Blake with Robert Clayton, director Tim Polster, and our statistician Monty Clegg. And this is one of the biggest matchups that there is in Texas high school football. The Dragons and the Trojans. They're meeting for just the 5th time ever as district opponents. Last year, Carroll topped Trinity 56-48 in a game that featured nearly 60 first downs and more than 1,100 yards of total offense. Both teams have outscored by their opponents by significant margins this year as well. So, Robert, are we going to see another shootout tonight?
Well, Chris, anytime Carroll and Trinity get together, you can count on fireworks. You know, both teams know how to move the ball. Last year's numbers were video game-like. But I think the difference this time could come down to who controls the line of scrimmage and limits the mistakes. If either defense can force a couple of stops or takeaways, that might be the edge that otherwise be a high-scoring classic again. But, you know, anytime these two teams get together, Chris, it's a show.
We did see some turnovers in last year's game as well. Also some risks taken on special teams that paid off for the Dragons. Carroll also forced its first turnover of the season last week in a 52-3 win over Byron Nelson. Defense, offense, whole team looks as sharp as ever. Returning starters all over the place on both sides of the ball. How much has that helped the team not only start fast, but also look really dominant out of the gate?
Well, when you bring back as many experienced starters, you're not only just teaching the basics, you're refining, you're building chemistry, and that shows up on the Friday nights. You know, the Dragons aren't just playing fast, they're playing confident. They hit the ground running because these guys already know the system. They already trust each other, and that makes them really tough to slow down, Chris.
Well, it is a crowd that is already starting to fill in. You can kind of feel the excitement in the stadium tonight. A lot of fans already on the visitors' side as well, as you see the Emerald Bells take the field for the first time tonight. It is a green out tonight. It is DYF night. So fans encouraged to wear green. The Dragons will be in all green as well tonight before one of the biggest matchups in the state of Texas. But still to come on the Clayton and Clayton Real Estate pregame show, we'll hear from Carroll head coach Riley Dodge, take a look around the district. But first, we'll have a spotlight in the trenches. Robert's excited about this one.
Let's go.
It's coming up next on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Steven Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
It is Dragon Youth Football Night here at Dragon Stadium. The line continuing to go through that Dragon helmet in the west end zone. Robert, that line's been going for at least a couple of minutes now.
What an experience for the kids. You know, they know at some point they'll be on this field playing, Chris, and it's pretty neat to see the community together. And, you know, not only for these youth football players, but we have a lot of these Dragon youth football players on the field playing tonight. Not only for Carroll, but we have one for actually Trinity as well.
We'll talk a little bit more about Trojans quarterback Mac Lineweaver as we get closer to kickoff, but his father, Aaron Lineweaver, the head coach of the Trojans, was an assistant on the Carroll staff for nearly 2 decades before making the move over to Trinity. Well, these youth football players will have some growing to do to get to be the size they need to be to play in the trenches in tonight's game. When you talk about offensive lines, that's always something that stands out when you look at Trinity's roster. This year's line features 2 Division I commits, including SMU commit, here we go, Papungatoa Katoa. The Trojans line, always known for its size, and that's no different this year.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to start in the trenches no matter what here tonight. You know, Trinity's offensive line is the strength of their team. Like you mentioned, 2 Division I commits up front. It really starts with the right guard, Katoa, who Coach Lineweaver says he is the leader of the group. You know, the size and power, they set the tone. If the Dragons can neutralize that line and win the battle up front, they'll put the Trojans in uncomfortable situations all night.
This is a look at how Carroll's offensive line stacks up against Trinity's defensive line here from a size perspective. Carroll's offensive line does not pale in comparison. You look at 6'3.5" on average, 282 pounds, 4 guys already committed to play at the next level. But they will contend with a 3-man front that features a pair of brothers on the outside who are just sophomores.
Yeah, great little defensive ends for Trinity. Guys who are coming in their own, they're developing as players. They have a staunch nose guard there in the middle. You know, it's going to be a battle up front. You know, this is one of the few times they go against a Trinity defense that, you know, it actually tips Carroll's way in terms of size.
Well, we've got a graphic as well on the size of this Trinity offensive line on average. 6'2" and a half average height. The weight really stands out. They average 301 pounds across the line. Katoa, that we mentioned, is 6'6", 393 pounds, going to SMU. The left tackle, Leonte Chandler, is a senior, 6'6", 300 pounds, going to Rice. And the right tackle, also a big guy, in Kiloa Wolfgram, 6 feet, 375 pounds. So what does that mean if you're a defensive lineman on the Carroll side? What is your role tonight?
Well, on average, Chris, you're giving up almost 50 pounds, right? And with this Trinity offensive line, they're going to lean on you an awful lot. It's going to be wear and tear on those wheels tonight for the Dragon defensive line. And really what you've got to do, you've got to maintain your gap integrity, and you can't get moved off the ball 2 to 3, 4 yards down off the ball. You've got to maintain it and let the linebackers play over the top of you. It is going to be a battle up front.
It'll be a fun battle to watch because this Carroll defensive line has been outstanding to start the year. Our spotlight players each of the last 2 weeks have been the defensive ends, Marcus Browse and Crawford Taylor. Well, we continue to count you down the kickoff between Trinity and Carroll on the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show. And coming up next, we'll hear from Dragons head coach Riley Dodge on the Dragons Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 Dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show as we get set for the second district game of the year for the Dragons. Carroll hosting Trinity tonight. Chris Blake joined by Dragons head coach Riley Dodge. And coach, week 2 of district play, you got a big emphatic week 1 win at Byron Nelson last week. What did you take away from that 52-3 win?
Well, just super pleased, obviously, with the result. Proud of our kids and just the way that we prepared all week. They really poured into the plan, and I think that showed up on the field over in Northwest ISD Stadium. Just kids just having a lot of fun right now. You know, I think the relentless effort to the football. We're really excited to finish games off right now, and it was our first real full game with no stops and starts. So I think that had something to do with it as well. And didn't break up our rhythm.
One thing I think that we knew coming in, but has been very apparent through a few weeks, that the experience of this team, you have a lot of guys on both sides of the ball that have been returning starters. What's it like in practice, not in practice on the field, but in practice versus in theory, of being able to kind of maybe sharpen things a little bit more as opposed to having to teach week to week?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, I don't feel like we're, on our heels right now. I feel like we're always moving forward, which allows us to be aggressive in the game plan. I feel like we can put more on our kids just because they can handle a lot of water, in the boat and, when it comes to scheme. But yeah, more than anything, it's just, what can our kids handle? And we still want to put them in a situation where we can still play fast. We can still play ball, but yeah, I mean, it definitely helps when you have a lot of guys that have seen a lot of football.
One highlight from last week, defense forces its first turnover of the season. William Chen with that fumble recovery. How big is it for them to get that first one under their belt?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, that's something we preach all the time, and it's not a lack of trying. Trust me. I mean, we during practice, I mean, when it comes to ball security circuits, takeaway circuits, we stress that a lot in our program. We talk about ball is the program. Defensive job is to get the ball back to the offense, and the offense is supposed to take care of it. So just super proud of our guys, and that's going to be the goal this Friday.
Tonight you take on a Trinity team that you beat 56-48 in a wild game last year over at Pennington Field. How exciting is this one, just with the history on both sides? Their head coach, Aaron Lineweaver, was here for nearly 2 decades. Just the rivalry and the history involved in this matchup.
Yeah, I think most rivalries when it comes to, and I think this is like probably our true rival when it comes to just the history of the two programs. I just think there's so much respect on both sides of the fence for both programs, right? And in typical high school rivalries right now, it's a lot of like trash talk, bad blood, and that's not the case in this game. It's our kids are going to be competitive, their kids are going to be competitive. They want it, we want it, but just a lot of respect. And man, we've had some historic games in this rivalry. And I'm kind of proud to say that I played in the very first one, in 06. So I've kind of seen the growth of both programs throughout the year. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Something Trinity is always known for is its offensive line. A lot of big guys up front, a couple going D1 to SMU and to Rice. How do you match that, or what do you try to do defensively up front to deal with the size that the Trojans have?
You got to be some tough dudes. You got to be some tough dudes. You got to understand what you're getting. I think at times last year we did a good job. I thought we did a good job for the most part in the run game. It wasn't the run game that got us last year. It was more the passing game, which is unique for them and what they did to us in the second half. But yeah, we got a big task, in front of us. But I'm excited about this challenge for our defense. Our defense is playing really well right now and flying around playing together.
Talk about that defense. They've got a running back going Division I to Texas State and JT Harris. What have you seen from him on film, and what's the key to, on the other side of the ball, slowing him down?
Yeah, I think, obviously we got to make sure we ball him up. We can't allow him to get on the perimeter, and we got to understand where our help is at. We got to be great tacklers in space. We got to get both of our feet in the ground and not lean, and we got to keep our eyes up. But he's a home run hitter. If he gets to the third level, there's no one in the stadium that's going to be able to catch him. And so we got to make sure that we, buddy tackle, and also understand, like I said a second ago, understand where our help's at defensively.
That's Dragons head coach Riley Dodge before Carroll takes on Trinity tonight at Dragon Stadium.
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
Side gets away from a defender across the 5. Touchdown, Dragons.
Two of the most storied programs in the history of Texas high school football meet tonight at Dragon Stadium as the undefeated Carroll Dragons take on the unbeaten Trinity Trojans tonight. Kickoff coming up in just about 10 minutes. Hi there and welcome back in to the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show. Chris Blake and Robert Clayton with you tonight from Southlake. Our director is Tim Polster, statistician tonight, Monty Clegg. And Robert, talk about the tradition of these two programs. We just saw the Trojans do the haka, their pregame ritual, but this is a rivalry that may not date back as far as many people think. It started just in 2006 when Riley Dodge was the quarterback for the Dragons.
I was actually at that game, Chris, and it was an electrifying game. You know, this might not be Texas Stadium, but you do have a father and son coach on the sidelines for this game in Mac Lineweaver and Coach Lineweaver being in the game. Now, it might not be in the semifinals, deep in the playoffs, but I'll tell you what, there isn't a bigger game right now on this schedule for these two teams.
Now, this is the 11th all-time meeting. Carroll owns a 7-3 edge in those first 10 matchups, including last year's 56-48 win. Well, you mentioned Mac Lineweaver, the son of head coach Aaron Lineweaver, being the quarterback of the Trojans. They're breaking in a new signal caller in the junior. What does he bring to the table?
Well, Coach Lineweaver said, he brings poise and a football IQ. And that comes with being a coach's son. He knows the system inside and out. He won't be rattled by the moment. He's not going to be asked to air it out all night. But can he manage the game? Can he make the smart reads? Can he use play action? Can he get Trinity's run game going? His ability to stay composed and take what defense gives him is what's going to be the good fit for him in the offense tonight. And really, you just got to manage the game right.
Get a look at some of Carroll's captains there on the sidelines waiting for the coin toss. Some of the guys trying to chase down a lot of those captains for the Dragons are this linebacking core of the Trojans. We've talked about the size of their defensive line. They've also got a 5-star corner who we'll talk more about in John Meredith. But I know their linebackers impressed you on film.
Incredibly impressed me. They're fast, physical, and instinctive, Chris. They read plays quickly, they fill the gaps effectively, and they make impact tackles sideline to sideline. They can disrupt both the run and the pass game. They're the core of the Trinity's defense, and it's really the identity of this team on defense right now. Watch for number 7, Malatoa, and number 31, Elijah Smith, who Coach Lineweaver has been raving about his ability to get sideline to sideline.
Well, we are awaiting Carroll to take the field. Dragons have not come out of the stands for the Dragon Walk yet. So let's go ahead and take a look here, Robert, at your keys to the game. Our Keys to the Game sponsored by Clayton and Clayton. If you're thinking about buying or selling your Southlake home, meet Robert Clayton and Karen Clayton Young with Clayton and Clayton Real Estate. Recognized by both clients and industry professionals as one of the very best in Southlake and DFW, Robert and Karen bring expertise and hometown pride. As Carroll graduates, lifelong Dragons, Dragon parents, and 30-year residents, they are invested in the community and serve through nonprofits and youth sports, benefiting Southlake and Carroll ISD. The Clayton team is committed to making your real estate experience seamless from start to finish. Clayton and Clayton Real Estate, where Dragons represent Dragons.
And Chris, we mentioned that the keys to the game here, number one, we've got to strike fast and strike first. Number two, wreck the game plan. Wrecking the game plan. Get Trinity out of comfortable. Can't let them be too comfortable in establishing that run game. And I think number three, ultimately, you got to own the clock. You own the game. So, if you can dominate and get up a little bit early, own the time of possession, Chris, you're going to put yourself in a good spot to win the game.
I'm going to drill down on you on your second one. When you say wreck the game plan for Trinity, what does Carroll need to do?
Well, when we talk about wrecking the game plan, Chris, it's they want to get out and get their power game going, whether it's through counter or power runs. They want to dominate the line of scrimmage. The Carroll defense, they've got to, like I said earlier in the pregame show, is that they've got to stay gap-centric. They've got to control the gaps. They can't get blown off the ball. When the defensive end sees that counter coming, they've got to squeeze down and collapse that hole and allow the linebackers to play over the top. That's something we'll be coming back to tonight throughout the game, and that's really where it starts. You've got to slow it down. Get them behind the chains. Get them uncomfortable, making some type of throws on 3rd and long.
Well, Carroll getting ready to take the field. They have come out of the stands for that Dragon Walk, and Carroll taking the field at Dragon Stadium before this big game against the Trinity Trojans. As the Dragons do take the field, let's look at tonight's starting lineups. For Carroll in the backfield, it'll be Angelo Renda at quarterback, Davis Penn in the backfield, the returning starters at both positions for Carroll. Top targets for Renda tonight will be Brock Boyd, Brody Knowles, Blake Gunter, and Caden Mackey, the starting receivers. And the offensive line for the Dragons from left to right goes Luke Wilson, Will Barley, Kerry Clayton, Nathan Domraki, and Tristan Dare, bookended by those big Oklahoma and Michigan commits at the tackle spots. On the defensive side, defensive ends Crawford Taylor and Marcus Brous, Jake Luckley and Jackson Oakley starting at the tackle spots.
And if I could put a big circle around Jake Luckley, we saw him against Midland, versus Midland's Division I commit at right guard. He's going to have the tall task with Katoa tonight, getting after him, getting out the ball. It's very similar to what Midland did, but probably just a little bit better in execution as an offensive line. So it's a big night for Jake Luckley in this interior line.
Linebackers and corners for the Dragons, Robbie Ladd and Will Lyons, hoping that the defensive linemen can eat up some of those blocks and leave them free to make the tackles. Coons and Busman on the outside for Carroll. And then the safeties, we will usually see a combination of 3 of these 4 guys on the field at any time for the Dragons. William Chen, Gavin Strange, Austin Busman, and Parker Harris. William Chen has been a key tackler for Carroll, both on coming in off blitzes and against the run this year. How is his task going to be made difficult tonight?
Well, it's going to be hard because he's got to keep everything inside. He's got to make sure he doesn't get cracked by the wide receivers coming on the blocking. They're a physical receiving group. He's got to be careful. He's got to play out the block, come over top, and make the plays. As we want to push it from the inside to the outside, he's got to be there to make that stop. It's a big role he's going to play tonight.
Well, now we will pause as the Dragon Band plays the national anthem. Dragon Band completing the national anthem at tonight's game. Notice the band in its full marching uniforms this year for the first time. Still a little toasty out there. 87 degrees, down to 85 now as the sun sets to the right side of the stadium, the west side. And real quick, Robert, recapping your keys to the game for Carroll.
Again, strike first, strike fast, get on top of Trinity, and don't let up. They did that last year. They had some opportunities with some onside kicks, took advantage of that, got up early for a very long game in the second half. I mentioned wreck the game plan. You've got to wreck the game plan. You got to get Trinity out of their game plan up front, get them behind the chains, get them to throw the ball, something they're not great at. Own the clock, own the game. Time of possession is going to be huge. You can't allow Trinity to own the clock. You got to get on top, and then you yourself have got to own the clock and the possession of the game. You should be coming out as a victor.
Coin toss going on at midfield right now. Coin toss brought to you by the Baker firm, Fidelity National Title. If you need title work, call Julie Walker. The captains out there for the Dragons, Angelo Renda, William Chen, Brock Boyd, and Jake Lucky. For Trinity, the captains, Leonte Chandler is that offensive lineman on the right side of your screen that we've been talking about. Also, one of those linebackers, Gordon Moatow.
Leonte, Chandler's a big guy, 6'6". He's headed to Rice. He's the guy who came on late last year and really developed over the spring and the summer, became a big-time recruit in the state of Texas.
Caleb Adam, one of the starting safeties. And Elijah Smith, another one of the linebackers out there as well for the Trojans. The officials for tonight's game. The referee is Bill Theodore. The umpire, Chris Timms. Headline judge, Thomas Bean. The line judge, Durwood Manley. The side judge, Bryant Warren. The field judge is Brad Vick. And the back judge is Armando Alvarado. Though we're just about ready to get things started here tonight, Carroll will kick it away first. Remember last year in this game, we saw the Dragons try an onside kick 3 separate times, recovering 2 of them. So just something to keep in mind. You do have, I believe, a hands team out on the field for the Dragons. Brock Boyd out there in kick coverage.
Well, it's something that Coach Dodge and his staff, they study the film every week. They look for little things that they can take advantage of. Last year, they felt that front line was turning their backs and completely running for the kickoff return. They took advantage of it, took some onside kicks. You wonder what this staff has up their sleeve for this game from what they've seen on film.
Zoe Palmore and Keandre Dixon back to receive for the Trojans. Strange will put the foot into it, and we are underway on Friday night in Southlake. This one will land in the end zone for a touchback, and the Trojans will start at their own 25-yard line. The offensive starters for Trinity, we mentioned the quarterback, Mac Lineweaver, is a junior. Last week threw for 77 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. J.T. Harris, the starting running back, committed to Texas State. Fullback Jaden Hollins. The receivers Jalen Donaldson and Tayshawn Efon. So something we don't often see, but an I formation. Lineweaver under center on first down will give it to Harris, trying to get it outside of evades one defender, gets across the 40 towards midfield, and finally shoved out of bounds there by Parker Harris. Big run, check that. That was Zorian Palmore, number 3, on first down for the Trojans. A big gain.
We talk about the Trinity backfield. They have just a stable full of running backs here that can bust it at any time, and they have speed. You have J.T. Harris, Palmore, and Keandre Dixon. You've got to keep them under control. The thing about these running backs, Chris, if that hole closes, they bounce it out quick, so you got to be ready on the edge with the Dragon defense.
26 yards on the first touch of the game for Palmore. Now Lineweaver out of the gun with Palmore still in there at running back. Palmore gets it again, trying to bounce it outside, and ankle tackle. Nice job by Harris to keep him from springing forward to get first down yardage again. Gain of 4.
Yeah, great job by the Carroll defense. Just staying home. You know, they come out with a counter play. You've got to try to kick out that defensive end. And if you're playing Parker Harris, you've got to play over the top. You've got to come down on run support as a free safety and make that play. Great job by the Dragon defense.
The offensive line for the Trojans, left to right, Leonte Chandler, Biliami Finau, Caden Stanley, Toa Katoa, and Kiloa Wolfgram. The tight end is Cohen Fiafia. 2nd and 6 from the Carroll 45. Now Palmore in at the quarterback spot. Gets the direct snap, fakes the handoff, working his way up the middle, hit hard after a gain of a couple of yards. Harris and Chen in there on the stop.
This was so difficult if you're this Dragon defense. They'll throw Palmore in there. He's just another guy with the ability to run the ball, even at the quarterback spot. You know, he backs up line weaver, but you'll see him from time to time get in. I want to say it's a wildcat formation, but you got to watch. He's in the game. He's getting the ball. He's probably going to run it.
Trinity had 9 different players carry the ball last week in their win over Keller Central. On 3rd down, we get flags. Trinity tried to go quickly there. Maybe some movement up front.
5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And then hearing from our referee, Bill Theodore, for the first time. They got a false start on the Trojans, trying to get up to the line of scrimmage and snap it in a hurry.
It was great to see the Southlake crowd. We're almost at a maximum capacity here. They made some noise on that 3rd down. A great job by just the student body here at Southlake.
3rd and 8. Flags fly again. Another false start, says the side judge.
And this is what Trinity can't have, right?
False start on the offense, 89. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's Fiafia, the tight end. So they had 3rd and short. Now they're at 3rd and a mile, 3rd and 13 for an offense that does not put the ball in the air very often.
This is what the Dragon defense has to do. They got to put them behind the chains here. And that own fault of Trinity, you had a 3rd and manageable. Now you have a 3rd and difficult. You know, this isn't Mac Lineweaver's forte, getting the ball down the field and making the first down.
JT Harris, the lone back in the backfield, under pressure. They get it to Harris on a screen. Gets across midfield and tackled shy of the sticks. Nice job. Jake Lucky getting downfield, trailing the play to make the stop. It'll be 4th down.
It was a great job by the Dragon defense. He had all the space in the world to get that first down. He had Big Katoa out there on the screen. He gets tripped up by the Dragon defender. Terrific job by the Dragon defense.
So the punter for the Trojans, so they may go for it here. Lineweaver still on the field, and Aaron Lineweaver is forced to take a timeout.
Timeout, Trinity. It's their first timeout of the half. The player whose helmet came off can now come back in for the next play.
Timeouts tonight sponsored by Carroll ISD Special Olympics. We will take it as well. No score, 9:25 to go in the first quarter on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
So after the Trojans called their first timeout of the half, Mac Lineweaver and this offense remain on the field. It looks like Trinity is going to go for it on 4th and 5 from the Carroll 44-yard line. Power formation on the right side here. They pitch it to Harris, trying to bounce it out on the right side. The Carroll defense stops him behind the line of scrimmage. Trinity turns it over on downs, and Carroll will take over.
A simple toss to the outside, which is, I would have gone straight up the middle if I had this Trojan offense. Great job by the Carroll defense of making the stop, shutting down the speed on the outside. Watch the Dragon defenders just collapse to the outside. Great job on getting off the blocks and making the play and corralling the ball carrier.
Replays tonight brought to you by Recoat Revolution, as we saw Luke Bussman make the stop there. So the Carroll offense will start with good field position at their own 47. They stack receivers on the right side of the set. Davis Penn standing to the right of Angelo Renda. They motion Blake Gunter out right side. Renda takes the snap, hands to Penn, trying to pick his way up the middle, is going to be hit after a short gain, maybe a couple of yards. Short gain on first down for the senior.
This is one of the sophomores, Nalapoto. We talked about the sophomore brothers flanking the ends. You know, they got a tall task going against Luke Wilson and Tristan Dare. Great job by the Trinity defender on shutting down the ball carrier.
This Trinity defense up front, yeah, it's a 3-4 look for the Trojans. Samisi Naupoto and Simi Naupoto, the defensive ends. Randall Rogers, the nose tackle, as Penn gets it again, going outside, going to be shy of the first down marker, but it'll set up 3rd and short for Carroll.
Great job by John Mark Fraga and Blake Gunter there on the perimeter on getting the blocks there on the safety and the corner and making the play. Good hard running by Penn.
The linebackers for the Trojans, Sir Mims, Gordon Mowatow, Elijah Smith, and Keandre Dixon. The safeties are Chase Davis and Caleb Adam. The corners, Dontrell Johnson and John Meredith. Meredith, a junior 5-star, who's one of the best corners in the area. So 3rd and short. Dragons got to get to the 43-yard line. 2 receivers right side. Penn alongside Renda in the backfield. Angelo looking to throw, looking for Boyd. Got his man, and out of bounds he goes. First down and then some for the Ohio State commit.
You know, they're in a cover 4, but they come up, and these corners are playing man, Chris, and you got to be licking your chops every time you see a man coverage on Brock Boyd and they get the matchup they want. And then it's just this is pitch and catch between Renda and Boyd. What a conversion by Boyd for the first down. Huge play for the Dragons.
First downs brought to you by the Dragon Den, as we saw another Recoat Revolution replay.
And look at the bottom of the screen, folks. You're going to see this matchup a lot. You're going to see John Meredith, number 9, and Brock Boyd, number 1. Meredith is one of the number 1 corners in the country versus the number 1 receiver, in my opinion, in the country.
First down just inside the 20-yard line. Renda gives it to Penn again. Scoots between a couple of defenders, spinning his way across the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd and inches for Carroll.
You love the patience by Penn, just an inside zone, but behind Will Barley and Kerry Clayton and Nathan Domrocki. Great job on being patient and letting the hole open up here in the interior. That's the weak spot of this defense, is if you can get that inside zone established, it'll be a long day for this Trinity defense.
So Penn's already carried the ball 3 times for 19 yards for the Dragons on this first drive. Renda will throw, looking to end zone. Knowles, left corner, out of bounds. You know, I asked Riley Dodge during the week if they expected Meredith to follow Boyd. On that reception, Meredith was not covering Boyd. It was Dontrell Johnson. But since that play, we've seen Meredith on top of Boyd each time.
Yeah, and I think for the Trinity defense, it's pick your poison, right? I mean, you know, you might go over Boyd, but he's going to get his catches, but then you have to deal with Knowles and Gunter as well. And we're in the part of the field where Dragons throw to spots, not so many man.
Penn gets the carry, surges forward for another Dragon Den first down. Carroll will have 1st and goal. Sir Mims, the senior linebacker, on the stop for the Trojans. The Dragons with a tight end in there on the set right now. John Mark Fraga lined up on the right side of the formation. Knowles all alone on the left side of your screen. Renda, they'll keep it on the ground with Penn again. Inside the 5, he is dragged down just shy of the goal line. They're going to mark him down inside the 1.
Talk about getting inside on this Carroll offensive line, right behind the center, Kerry Clayton, great block. And just, you know, you see Davis Penn, once he gets that acceleration, you see Kerry Clayton come off on the block, just opens a huge hole for Penn to get through. And it's tough. He's got the vision, and he can get it to the end zone.
On 1st and goal, they stop him right at the line of scrimmage, so nowhere to go that time for Davis Penn, who has been busy on this first possession for the Dragons.
You like seeing Penn getting early and often in the rhythm, especially, coming off those injuries and getting some plays, after the past few weeks. But he's been a bell horse here on this first drive, something you like to see for a Dragon running back.
Already 6 carries tonight for Davis Penn. A split 3 receivers right side of the formation on 3rd and goal. Renda is going to keep it himself, tucks it, gets into the end zone, takes a shot at the end, but he is into the end zone for the touchdown. Dragons take the first lead of the game. It's 6-0.
You've got to love the change up. It's just a QB sweep designed to the outside, changing up from going inside zone and gets in the end zone. Tough shot by Mr. Davis by Trinity.
There is a flag down on the play. Lineweaver was all the way down inside the 10-yard line. So we wait to hear from Bill Theodore.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the Trinity pitch. That penalty's 15 yards will be enforced on the kickoff.
So they don't flag Davis. Trinity sideline gets the penalty. So that'll be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdowns tonight presented by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate as Gavin Strange comes on for the extra point out of the hold of Luke Jacomard. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is good. So with 5:37 to go in the first quarter, the score is Carroll 7, Trinity nothing on the Dragons Sports Network.
Hey Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Carroll tries an onside kick here, and the Dragons got it again. Second year in a row, Carroll recovers an onside kick against the Trojans. The officials huddling over the ball right now. We see the Recoat Revolution replay. I think the question's going to be, did it go far enough or hit a Trojan player first?
It looks close, Chris. It looks like it could have hit Boyd's left leg, possibly, before it went 10 yards.
We'll see what the ruling is here. I think Trinity's argument would be that the ball maybe didn't quite make it 10 yards. And they're going to say Carroll has it. So we haven't even gotten to talk about it much yet, but again, we mentioned Carroll went for a few onside kicks in last year's game at Pennington Field, recovered 2 of them. This year, after that 15-yard penalty.
Start the play clock.
This year, after that 15-yard penalty, they figured, why not? And they got it.
A great job just by the Carroll staff. They game plan these things throughout what they see on film.
Renda will throw on first down, taking a shot, looking end zone. Knowles Touchdown, Dragons! What a turn in this one. The onside kick, the 36-yard touchdown strike, and just like that, 3 plays, and Carroll takes a 13-point lead.
It's hard when you go vertical on the cover 4, but when you have Biggers coming out of the field as a wheel route on the back end, and you have Knowles going vertical, you don't have a whole lot of support there by the safety. Great job of getting behind this defense in delivering a strike from Angelo Rinda.
Extra point presented by CLC Roofing is good. And touchdowns, as always, presented by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Well, in less than 15 seconds of game time, a 14-point swing in favor of the Dragons. They lead it 14-0 with 5:28 to go in the first on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits,
Up 14-0, Gavin Strange boots it through the end zone for a touchback on the ensuing kickoff. But Carroll, in a matter of 2 offensive plays and 1 onside kick recovery, has taken a 14-0 lead here on Trinity, the 8th-ranked team in the state, according to the Dave Campbell's AP poll.
We talked about the keys of the game, Chris. You got to strike first, and you got to strike often, and Carroll has accomplished that here in the get-go in the first quarter. And really, Trinity's been the victim of their own demise of just getting the penalties, not only on defense but on offense as well, putting them in a setback here.
So now for Trinity, key is 1 to get on the board, but also to hold the ball and give that defense a little bit of a breather as they keep it on the ground on first down. This is Keandre Dixon getting tackled behind the line of scrimmage by Taven Coons.
Great job by Taven Coons coming off and playing in space. That's so difficult when you're there on an island as a corner and you've got such a speed in the backfield. Great job on staying home and making a solid hit and bringing the Trinity running back down.
Dixon, one of the starting linebackers, also had 12 carries last week for 74 yards and a touchdown. And I know you were impressed by his explosiveness out of the backfield as well.
Yeah, I think he's a special player. He plays both ways, so you got to limit his touches, but when he gets the ball, he is very dynamic.
They give it to the fullback going straight up the gut that time. Jaden Hollins, nothing doing there, getting back to the line of scrimmage. As an offensive lineman or a linebacker playing against a team that uses a fullback that you're not used to seeing, what are some of the different things you have to pay attention to?
It's just physicality. You come in, you're meeting a collision in the hole every time when you have a fullback coming through. When they're isolating you as a linebacker, where they call ISO, it is a tough head-on collision. It makes for a long night. You got to be physical, Chris.
So 3rd and long, 3rd and 9 for the Trojans. Lineweaver out of the gun. Dixon still in the game at running back. Tight end to the left side of the formation. Lineweaver looking to throw under pressure. He is going to be brought down and sacked. The first ones there for the Dragons was the linebacker Will Lines coming in on the blitz. It is 4th down.
We talked about the Dragon defenders and what they had to do tonight. You have to spill these type of plays. You have Katoa coming out there and making a pull. With something, I saw on film this week that Katoa is not their strongest puller. So if you can meet them right at the moment of the line of scrimmage, push them back and force Lineweaver to scramble. Great job by the Dragon defense in creating havoc.
Sacks brought to you by Life's Medicine. Start your ultimate recovery with Life's Medicine, located on Southlake Boulevard. The punter for the Trojans is Sir Mims. He's also one of their starting linebackers. Flags fly. We're going to get a delay of game here. The play clock reached 0.
Delay of game on the offense, number 10. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Chris, we're just seeing these penalties to stack up on Trinity. You know, they're putting them in not only bad field position, but it's just giving Dragons opportunities.
Seen 4 penalties on the Trojans so far. 2 false starts, the unsportsmanlike conduct, and now the delay of game nearly blocked. Parker Harris will field it at the 50. There is a flag down back where Mims kicked the ball. Harris takes it up to the 40-yard line, but we may get a running into the kicker here.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker on the defense, number 7. 15 yards from the previous spot. It's an automatic 1st down.
Luke Bussman flagged on that one for Carroll. First penalty called against the Dragons tonight.
That was a big drive by the Dragons, just keeping Trinity behind the change. But then, you know, again, we talked about Trinity on the penalty. Big penalty by the Dragons.
So that gives Trinity the 1st down as we see the Rico Revolution replay here on the kick.
That's so hard, Chris, when you're going in for the block. You know, it's hard to stop that momentum and stop from running into the kicker if you're Luke Bussman.
Lineweaver under center this time, gives to J.T. Harris, finds a hole on the left side of the line, breaks a couple of tackles, falls across the 40-yard line to the 41.
Again, Trinity just getting back to their bread and butter. This is what they have to do. You know, stop at the sweeps. You know, stop at the play action, get between your guard and tackles and get that counter going. Get to your bread and butter, move the ball methodically down the yard.
Now, when we see the Trojan depth chart, instead of saying left tackle, left guard, right tackle, right guard, it says quick tackle and strong tackle. After this play, maybe tell us what that means exactly in this offense as Harris gets it again, gets the 1st down, and then some across midfield, across the 40, before he's finally taken down there by Austin Bussman, a Dragon Den 1st down.
Well, it's a perfect example of right there. You have a quick tackle and a quick guard. Number 63 is your quick guard. He's going to be your main puller here. He comes through on a power play, and they do this. That's how their offense is designed. They want their more agile offensive linemen. They're pulling into space and creating the holes just like they did there, opening it up for J.T. Harris.
So a new set of downs for the Trojans into Dragon territory, ball at the 36. Harris up the gut. Tackled by Parker Harris and Marcus Browse on the stop. I mentioned the 9 different ball carriers for Trinity last week against Central. 7 of those 9 had 2 or more carries, so they'll keep it on the ground quite a bit. Lineweaver only attempted 14 passes last week. Out of the I formation again, Lineweaver under center. This time rolls out to the right, looking to throw, gets it out in the flat to the fullback, who is tackled at the 30-yard line by Chen. That was Trent Turner, the junior, on the reception.
Again, you're going to see some variation here of a power play. It's a great little bootleg by Trinity, you know, pulling the left guard here and getting them out in space. And they love going to the flats there, and great job by Trent Turner, just turn on, making the catch, and getting upfield.
We talk about the size of the linemen. Both of their fullbacks also check in at 200 pounds. On 3rd and short, they'll give it to Harris, trying to find running room, and he is tripped up shy of the 1st down marker. Give him maybe a yard on the play.
Tremendous job by Will Lyons. He's coming in like a rocket, making a huge hit on slowing down the Trinity running back, creating a 4th down opportunity.
And it looks like Trinity is going to go for it here. Oh, Lineweaver backing away towards midfield. This will be the end of the 1st quarter. They do not have to snap the ball again. 6 seconds left on the game clock, and the Trojans will take a second to think over this play call.
It's the end of the 1st quarter.
And see what they can do on 4th down when we come back. 1 quarter in the books. It's Carroll 14, Trinity nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Fourth down and short for the Trojans on the first play of the second quarter. Lineweaver under center. They hand it off to Harris. Jumps over the line, has the first down, but flags come out. And the Trojans are going to get hit with their third false start of the night.
And this is incredible,
False start on the offense. Number 63, 5-yard penalty. Replay, fourth down.
This is one of the first times we've really had Dragon Stadium sold out for a little while, and the crowd is making the difference.
Please set the game clock to 12 minutes. Start of the quarter, 12 minutes.
You're having three opportunities here that this Trinity offense has jumped offside and had a false start. This Dragon crowd is really into it tonight. It's a beautiful sight to see. It is green out everywhere.
Yeah, we look to our left and right up here from our position in the press box. It is all the way up to the top, all the way on the outside of the stadium. So fourth and a little bit longer now. They've got to get 7. Palmore. Hit. Ball comes out. Dragons have it. They had Palmore in there at quarterback for Trinity. A flag comes out after the play, and Carroll recovers the fumble. Palmore still down on the field after that hit.
You hope the young man's okay.
Well, almost.
We talked about when Palmore comes in, he's typically going to keep the ball. He's just an extra running back there, and it did not fool the Dragon defense with Crawford Taylor and Parker Harris zoning in on the ball. Great job by the Dragon defense.
It almost looked like he was a little bit surprised to see 2 defenders on him like that they didn't bite on the play action to JT Harris. But they're still checking on Palmore down on the field. Now he's sitting up at the 42-yard line. But for Carroll, it's the second turnover forced on the season. They had 1 takeaway last week against Byron Nelson. Parker Harris comes up with the fumble recovery here. Now Palmore comes to his feet and will slowly walk off the field towards the Trojans' sideline as he got sandwiched between a couple of Dragon defenders.
That was a tough hit. And great to see the young man up and walking and getting back to the sidelines. But, the Dragon defense and what Coach Munn is doing, he's putting, Trinity in these positions in these fourth down. It's hard. And when the whole crowd knows you're going to run it, when Palmore gets back there, it's a tough spot.
Sideline warning on the Southlake Carroll bench. That's their first of the game. It's first down.
The Carroll celebration after that turnover results in that warning. Turnovers, by the way, brought to you by Paragon Designs. Turn over your next remodel or new home design. So, Dragons ball at the 44. 3 receivers to the right. Running back in the game for the Dragons is Biggers. Renda throws right side for Mackey. Makes one defender miss across midfield. Now across the 45. Mackey along the right sideline. Finally forced out of bounds. Another Dragon Den first down after the big catch and run by the junior.
Way to take advantage of the soft coverage of Trinity. They're playing that quarter. They're playing about 5-6 yards off. Great throw just here in the flats by Renda to Mackey. Good block by Gunter. Boyd lost his guy, but he doesn't stop on the play. He continues blocking, which eventually springs Mackey there on the long reception. Great job by the Dragon offense.
It goes for 27 yards. They try it on the other side now. Get it to Jacquemart across the 30, across the 25, falls forward to the 23-yard line. Luke Jacquemart, the junior, with his second reception of the season.
You just flip it from field to field. You love seeing Jacquemart in there. He's a guy that we haven't seen a whole lot, just an injury. Great to see him back on the field.
Second and short for the Dragons. Biggers to Renda's right. They motion the tight end, Fraga. Angelo going to keep it. Tucks it across the 20, trying to bounce it outside across the 15. Flags fly. He's tackled inside the 15-yard line, but we'll see what the penalty is. Early in this one, the most active we've seen Angelo Renda as a runner so far this year.
Holding on the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Remains second down.
When they're kind of cluttering that box a little bit, Chris, and you're trying to get those receivers on the outside, it's just a QB sweep, and then Coach Dodge loves using these receivers as just extra linemen, getting out there and making those blocks, and he feels like he has an advantage by doing it. So it's just a quick hitter to the outside.
10 yards from the spot. So it'll be 2nd and 4. Still manageable for Carroll here in Trinity territory. On second down, they give it to Biggers. Full head of steam forward. Has enough for the first down across the 23-yard line. That'll move the sticks. Another Dragon Den first down.
Exceptional cutback run by Biggers following Luke Wilson, John Mark Fraga. Really willing himself to that first down. Great job on getting there and getting into the second level.
So a new set of downs for Carroll, which has taken advantage of some Trinity mistakes early on. Biggers motions out of the backfield. Empty set for Renda now. On first down, a timeout will be called before the ball was snapped by Riley Dodge.
Timeout, Carroll. It's their first timeout of the half.
Timeouts brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. We'll take the timeout as well with 10:16 to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 14 and Trinity nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Been a balanced attack for the Dragons so far. They've kept it on the ground 8 times, have gone to the air 5 times tonight, and have a new set of downs at the 22 of the Trojans. With just over 10 minutes to go in the second quarter, looking to go up 3 scores. Biggers in there at running back. Boyd comes in motion here. They flip it to him. Boyd trying to find a cutback lane is going to be hit by Moatow and brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He's one of those linebackers we highlighted before the game and shows you why right there.
Yeah, Moatow, he can bring the wood, Chris. He's the returning leading tackler for Trinity, and he's a guy who's got a few offers to play at the second level. And he's really that leader of that defense. He is that general there at middle linebacker.
So puts him behind the chains, 2nd and 12. Penn returns to the game at running back for Carroll. Knowles, the lone receiver, on the left side of the set. Renda hands it to Penn, up to the 20-yard line. Picks up a few yards on the play. It'll be 3rd down. Helmet comes off of a Carroll offensive lineman.
And that's the rule. Once your helmet comes off, you have to come out of the game. And it looks like the Trinity defender just took the helmet off Domrocky. He had his hands up in the air like, what is going on, ref? But, C.J. Johnson comes in, one of the sophomore linemen that Dodge and Coach Gill are very high on.
So 3rd down here for the Dragons. Already in field goal range. 2 backs in the backfield. They're going to motion Blake Gunter out to the right side. Renda looking out to throw. They flip it to Penn in the flat. He gets a block from the lineman. Is going to be pushed out of bounds shy of the 10-yard line. It's going to be awfully close. We'll see where they spot this one. Sir Mims, the one that pushed him out of bounds. And they are going to wave the chains forward. It's going to be another Dragon Den 1st down.
We talk about playing in space, and screens are really difficult, not only to execute, but for offensive linemen. When you're out there going against a linebacker, just trying to get a little piece of them, can actually spring the play, and great job by Will Barley, just getting enough so the Dragon offensive player can get the 1st down.
1st and 10, ball is at the 12. Penn gets it again. Been a busy day for him. Flags come in at the end of this play. He's tackled at the 8. We've heard from Bill Theodore early and often tonight. And a lot of penalties through the first 16 minutes of this one.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 96. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's an automatic 1st down.
So that is the nose tackle for the Trojans, Bjor Onsen. And the penalties just keep piling up for Trinity here. 1st and goal from the 4. Biggers back into the game alongside Renda. 2 receivers each side for Carroll. Renda keeps it himself, gets into the end zone, untouched for the touchdown. Everybody bid on the play fake, and Angelo walked in unscathed. Dragons go up 3 scores.
I love Angelo showing his wills tonight. It's just a zone read. He's reading here the outside linebacker and defensive end. If they crash in, he keeps it, fakes it to Biggers, then he's out. There's no one there to support, and he just sees pay dirt immediately. Great job by Angelo Renda on making the play call.
Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. As Gavin Strange comes on for the CLC Roofing Point after, it is up and through. With 8:03 to go before halftime, the score is Carroll 21 and Trinity nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
Dragons go up 21-0 on the Trojans after an Angelo Renda touchdown run. It capped an 8-play, 57-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 52 seconds off the clock. And now Trinity has got to find a way to respond offensively, stay in this game before halftime. Carroll gets the ball first in the 3rd quarter.
We were talking here on the break, Chris. It's just penalties. There's more laundry on the field than my dorm room my freshman year in college.
That's saying
Trinity.
something.
It's saying a lot, Chris, because I am a dirty person. So
Strange puts the foot into it. This will not be returned by the Trojans, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Well, our condolences go out to Taylor after that statement.
Well, I said freshman year in college.
Okay.
Not 43 years old.
Okay, there we go. So 1st down at the 25 for Trinity. And if you're the Trojans offense, even down 3 scores, I guess you got to keep it on the ground. It's not an offense that's designed to go to the air very often.
No, we said about striking fast and striking often, wreak havoc to their game plan, and that game plan is going to have to change in order to stay into this game. So it's going to be exciting to see what Lineweaver calls on this drive. This is a huge drive.
Harris, the running back, gets it on first down, spins out of one tackle, spins out of another before he's slowed down enough to be gang tackled. Pyle still going forward, and they're going to give him forward progress to the first down, but a flag is there on the play. But JT Harris showing his ability to gain yards after contact after breaking the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
And he's run down by several. Personal foul, face mask on the defense. 15 yards is added to the end of the run. It's an automatic first down.
So even after Harris picks up the first, the Trojans get 15 more, and this will be nearly as far as they've advanced the ball all day.
Yeah, you see the physicality of both teams, and maybe that's what's showing up in the penalties here. Is just the aggression between the both teams, because they're give and taking on a few penalties here, and that's probably Trinity's best play from scrimmage all night, counting the penalty.
So Harris remains in the game at running back. The fullback is Jaden Hollins, and a whistle before the ball is snapped.
Delay of game, offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Second delay of game penalty we've seen on the Trojans. There's been 3 false starts on Trinity as well. Just pre-snap penalties that are moving them back.
Again, these type of situations change the makeup of the game in Trinity. You cannot do this to yourselves.
1st and 15. They, on the counter, give it to the fullback. Lowers his head, is going to be driven back at midfield and slowed down long enough for several Dragons to get there, but the first Carroll tackler there was Landon Hollins.
What you love about this Dragon defense is that they're just getting to the ball. They're flying to the ball. They're corralling the ball. They're stopping the ball carrier, and this is a very potent rushing attack from Trinity. They're going to get the yards at times, Chris.
Landon Harris on the stop. 2nd and 12. Ball at midfield. Lineweaver looking to throw. Looking left sideline. Throws it up. Broken up. Taven Coons in coverage there for Carroll.
What a play by Coons. I tell you what, he had to step on Coons, and what a job, what a great job getting underneath the receiver and getting the pass deflection.
Jalen Donaldson, the intended receiver.
Great job. Coons' guys, he's just gotten better and better each week. He's really becoming a tremendous corner out there for the Dragon defense.
They're going to go for it here. Or check that. Now 3rd and 12. Lineweaver looking to throw out of the play fake. Batted down at the line. Nearly intercepted. Or no, it fell to a Trinity player. And surging ahead was Lineweaver with the deflected ball. I thought it hit the turf, but Lineweaver able to get hands on it and get to the 45-yard line of the Dragons.
Again, this is a great job by the Dragons, just coming out and making the play there on the pull, and then Lyons comes in, great deflection, and they're trying to get the ball, heads up play by Mac Lineweaver on getting the ball and trying to get something out of nothing.
Sir Mims on to punt it away. I think he's calling for maybe one more player at the line. He's pointing at the line of scrimmage. They need to get somebody else on. They're going to have to use another timeout.
Timeout, Trinity. It's their second timeout of the half.
So another unforced error there by the Trojans as they use a timeout, brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. We take it as well. Under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. It's Carroll 21, Trinity nothing on the Dragon Sports Network.
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
A line drive punt by Sir Mims lands in the end zone for a touchback. And Carroll will take over here with 5.5 minutes to go before halftime. The Trojans had to burn a second timeout, and it's starting to feel like a series of just missteps. You know, an 11th player not being out on the field, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the sidelines after a Dragon touchdown, false starts, delays of games. The talent is certainly there for the Trojans, but the mistakes have allowed Carroll to go up 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, a little bit of deja vu from last year, but I think it's just discipline when it comes down to it. You know, those are calls you take care of in pre-camp, you know, not the third game of the season, Chris.
Brock Boyd pushed out of bounds after making the catch along the Trinity sideline. Picks up 4 on the play. We're seeing more and more of Luke Jacquemart on the field as well being mixed in. Remember, he was a starter last year at the beginning of the season before he was injured. So as he works his way back in, we're seeing him on the field a lot more as well. Renda looking to throw, right side, completed, and out of bounds goes Caden Mackey. Maybe a yard shy of the first down.
Caden Mackey's a guy, again, he's a dual sport guy, great baseball player for the Dragon baseball team, but he's been very effective tonight. That one coming back on a comeback route. And again, you're just taking what the coverage is giving you, then they play soft coverage in almost a man-to-man fashion. But, you know, you got to take what they give you, you move the chains.
3rd and 2 now coming up for Carroll on their own 28-yard line. They motion Fraga over to the left side of the set. Renda going to try to keep it again. Takes a hit near the line of scrimmage. Let's see where they spot it. It may be a yard short. They're going to say it's 4th down. Well, Robert, you talked about that soft coverage. What does the Trinity defense do that makes it hard to cover those shorter passing routes?
Well, they're saying about 5 to 6 yards back, so they're giving the opportunity for – they're trying to prevent the play over the top. So they're going to give up the short fills and the flats. And so, you know, you've got to come down. Now you see them walked up on 4th down. You know, this Trinity defense, they've got to find something. They've got talent there on the back end. I don't know why you're going to try to give up, you know, so much field to these Dragon receivers.
Harrison Phillips in the game at running back.
False start on the offense. Number 2, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Called a false start on the quarterback. Not something you see very often, but that is going to take the decision out of the hands of the coaching staff, and they will punt it away. Zach Hayes on to punt. And we mentioned he's not playing defensive end right now, but is available for punting responsibilities for the Dragons, which is still a weapon to have. A guy that's going to punt at the next level. Back to receive for the Trojans is John Meredith. He calls for a fair catch, lets it bounce at about the 40-yard line, takes a drag and roll across the 25, and will roll to a stop at the 22. Booming punt from Zach Hayes, and flips the field for Carroll.
Huge weapon for the Dragons, even though, you know, he is a huge weapon at defensive end, but like you said, coming in and being able to flip the field, this is we talk about a Dragon team that can execute on all levels, offense, defense, and special teams.
So Trinity now faces a long field with 4 minutes to go before halftime. Certainly would like to find the end zone in these final 4 minutes.
I think it's imperative they have to. The Dragons will receive the ball at half, so they've got to get some points on the board here, Chris, and they haven't been able to find Pater all game.
So under center, Lineweaver will hand off to Harris, trying to bounce it outside on the left, able to get across the 25-30 and runs out of bounds along the Trojan sideline after he has enough for a Dragon Den first down.
The JT here is showing his speed there out to the outside. Guys committed to Texas State. He was a great running back last year in that two-headed duo they had for Trinity. He's the guy, you get him on the edge, he has breakaway speed. The Dragon defense has got to stay home on that corner edge to make sure they keep him, really force him back into the field.
He's got 7 carries for 53 yards already tonight. So they come out on first down at the 34. High snap, Lineweaver pulls it down. Harris trying to bounce it outside, ran into a wall, able to make something out of nothing. He gets near the 40-yard line. He's so quick to make that change of direction and bounce it outside.
Well, you're playing at the next level of Texas State. That's where he's going to be going. We talked about when these holds collapse, which the Dragons are doing a great job on defense, he has the ability to a quick twitch to get out on the outside on a cut, and he does that. And this is what we talk about, these running backs. They're so talented, they're so fast that they can change their direction at any moment.
So I formation here for the Trojans. They'll give it to Harris again. He's hit right at the line. Got maybe a yard. Big hit there by the Dragons linebacker, Will Lines.
Will Lines has some big hits tonight. Again, we're talking about playing over the top and filling that gap responsibility, especially in the interior, and Will's doing that. He's doing a phenomenal job of that tonight. Hats off to the linebacker.
So third down again. Carroll has been exceptional in these situations so far defensively tonight. 3rd and 3. Lineweaver out of the gun, and Carroll will spend timeout.
Carroll. It's their second timeout of the half.
So Riley Dodge uses his second timeout of the first half here. Maybe trying to get the ball back before halftime. With 3:09 to go in the second, it's Carroll up 21-0 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
Trinity is 0 for 4 on third down tonight, facing a 3rd and 3 from their own 41-yard line. Riley Dodge using his second timeout. Timeouts tonight brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. And you got to imagine Coach Dodge thinking he can get the ball back with 3 minutes to go if they can get a stop here. Get the offense back out onto the field. Lineweaver takes a snap, looking to throw. Right side, has a man out of bounds for the first down. That is Tayshawn Ifon, senior receiver. And it will move the sticks for the Trojans.
Just a reminder from last year, even being up, the much as Dragons were, they're going to have to continue to put points on the board because this Trinity offense, once they get rolling, they can get going. And I tell you what, we thought it was over last year at halftime. And then that Trojan offense came storming back. And so it's not over. You got to put as many points on the board as you can.
Lineweaver gives to Harris again across midfield, dragging a couple of defenders with him to the 40-yard line. And another Dragon Den first down for the Trojans. And on the stop for Carroll, Gavin Strange, and Austin Busman.
You can see the burst from J.T. Harris. Getting there on the power play, good kick out block on the end, and then just getting upfield, getting in between the tackles, and getting that burst and getting the second level. He's a tremendous talent for this Trojan offense.
He's going to get a breather now as Dixon checks into the game at running back. Single back there for the Trojans. They give it to him. He is going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage. Big stop by a couple of Dragon defenders there as Austin Trin and Robbie Ladd team up for the stop.
Great job by Robbie Ladd. They're filling in. We talked about those linebackers playing over and filling those gaps. great job on making the hit and then having the Carroll defender come over the top and take down Trinity. Great job by the Dragon defense.
2nd and 10, ball at the 40-yard line. Clock continues to move, and this will take us to the 2-minute timeout in the first half.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
We will step aside as well here. 2 minutes to go before halftime. Trinity trying to find something offensively before the half. Dragons lead it 21-0 on the Dragons Sports Network.
For your next family get-together, church event, or corporate outing, well, leave the cooking to Feed Store Barbecue in Southlake. Feed Store has everything you need to make everyone happy, with delicious barbecue, fixings, and desserts. And the best part, they'll set it all up for you, and they'll take it away when you're done. All you have to do is eat. Call us at 817-488-1445 or online at feedstorebbq.com. Go Dragons.
This is John McKellar from White's Chapel in Southlake. This is one of my favorite times of the year because football is back. The Dragons are all about tradition, and White's Chapel is no different. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been at the heart of this community. We're a church that preaches a message of grace and love. We'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Out of the 2-minute timeout in the first half, Lineweaver sets up the wide receiver screen, completes the pass to Ifan. Carroll brings him down inbounds. Marcus Browse, Parker Harris over there on the stop.
Tremendous job by Marcus Browse. He sniffed that out very, very quickly, got his head to the sidelines, made the play. And again, we've talked about Browse a lot this year. He just has a knack to get to the ball. Great job.
So 3rd and 8 for the Trojans. Lineweaver out of the gun, will drop back, facing heavy pressure, hitting the backfield, avoids it, trying to step up across the line of scrimmage, now tucks it and runs across the 35-30, and somehow Houdini's his way for a first down.
Again, Marcus Browse applying the pressure to Lineweaver, coming here off the edge, almost has him. Great escape by Lineweaver, and just a heads-up play, trying to make a play. We've had Lineweaver not only, throw a pass to himself and catch it, but making it on the run with his legs here. Great job by Lineweaver.
Replays tonight brought to you by Rico Revolution. After Lineweaver picks up that Dragon Den first down for the Trojans. Under 1:20 to go in the half. Lineweaver will look to throw again. They set up the screen to the tight end this time. Across the 25 to the 20 goes Cohen Fia. And this is going to be close to a first down.
This is what this Trinity offense can do. They can start to get a little bit of rhythm. And when they do, they can get this engine going. And they're approaching, getting in, or already inside that 20-yard line. They're going to try to do a few more play action passes, and they're going to get into their power game and take this in the half.
Another Dragon Den first down. Home crowd starting to come to its feet here. Give the Carroll defense a little support. Lineweaver throws short left side across the 15-yard line. Goes Jalen Donaldson, the senior receiver. And now they're starting to get a little rhythm with this short passing game.
They got to keep going. They got the clock moving, so they've got to get this. They got to get up and get set. They're wasting valuable time.
Under 30 seconds, Lineweaver keeps it on the ground. Harris bounces it outside across the 10, inside the 5. He is out of bounds just shy of the goal line. I think Harris thought he got in, but the official along that far sideline marks him out of bounds. Higher up the field than I initially thought, all the way back at the 5 with 17 seconds to go. Trinity does have one timeout left.
Look for Trinity to try to do either some type of play fake, either a power boot, or just go right up the middle into their counter plays.
Harris in the backfield. Going to keep it across the 5, sniffed out there by this Carroll defense, and Trinity is going to have to burn its last timeout.
Timeout, Trinity. It's their third and final timeout.
Timeouts brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics, and we will keep it here this time with 13 seconds to go in the second quarter. Second down. So, Robert, if you're the Trojans here, if you keep it on the ground, you probably have time for one play. If you are willing to take a couple of shots, you got 2, maybe even 3 attempts at the end zone.
You've either got to take a shot or you got to get something quick to the outside. Going up the middle like their bread and butter, they don't have the time on the clock, and this is an opportunity for Trinity. You can't come away with 0 points here.
Right.
So you got to manage the clock. Either you try to get a play off and you get out of bounds, or you do a pass. You got to get the field goal team on. You can't come away going into half with giving the Dragons the ball. Huge play for the Trojans coming up.
Been a Trinity offense that has been explosive all year. Still looking for its first points of the half before halftime. Lineweaver throws one up, end zone. It is knocked away, but a flag comes in after the play. It was intended for Donaldson. So we await the call. We take a look at the Rico Revolution replay.
Pass interference on the defense, number 11. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. First down.
So Trinity now with 8 seconds to go. Ball at the 2. Lineweaver out of the gun. They're going to go to the air again. Short slant across the middle. It is caught for the touchdown. Donaldson gets into the end zone, and the Trojans are on the board. It's 21-6.
A good play call by Coach Lineweaver here. You had to do this. You couldn't risk it, put it on the ground. Again, catches Donaldson on a great little slant there across the middle. Good job by execution from the Trojans. Something they had to do going into half.
So on for the point after try, presented by CLC Roofing, is Jaden Boye. Touchdowns tonight brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate, and Carroll blocks it. It's scooped up by the Dragons. Going back the other way for Carroll, and this is going to go all the way. It is Gavin Strange all the way for the Dragons.
What a play by the Dragons special teams. You talk about executing on both sides. This crowd is erupting at Dragon Stadium. What a big play. Great job by this Dragon defense.
So Carroll blocks the point after try. Let's take another look at the Rico Revolution replay.
Big Jake Lucky stretching out his best Superman pose he can do. Gets the ball, gets the block. Great scoop and score.
Gavin Strange brings it back all the way to add 2 more for the Dragons. They lead it 23-6. Lucky, who was down after the play, gets up and firing up the crowd on his way off the field.
Sacrificing his body, Chris. What a young man.
I think he may have just taken the brunt of that kicking motion from Boye. Kept him down for a moment after that blocked point after try, but got up with some enthusiasm.
He's got that low center of gravity, Chris. When he can explode, he can get out there. And I'll tell you what, great job by the young man. He's a crowd favorite. Terrific human being.
So Carroll's got to love the way this first half is going to come to an end. Yes, you give up the Trinity touchdown, but coming away with a little momentum after the blocked extra point and the return for 2. Don't forget the Dragons also get the ball back to start the third quarter. The Feed Store Barbecue halftime show coming up in just a few minutes. Up first, we will chat with Kim Bedwell from Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate, and one of our sponsors the last 3 seasons on the broadcast. As Boye comes on to kick it away, gonna pooch kick line drive through the end zone. So Carroll's offense will come onto the field for one play here. And Robert, overall for the Dragons, up 23-6 against a team that is expected to be among the top in the state this year. You've got to be relatively pleased with how the first two quarters have gone.
I think they're very happy. But if I'm Coach Dodge as well, I think I'm going back in the halftime in the locker room saying, we had opportunities. We had the roughing the kicker that would have put us in, put the Dragons in great shape. They've had a few things, some of these long runs, especially the backs against second half, the late score. Those are things you can coach on and talk about. But overall, they've done a pretty darn good job on executing tonight.
Renda will take a knee, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So after two quarters, Carroll and Trinity, one of the most high-profile matchups in the state. It is the Dragons on top of the Trojans, 23-6. We'll take a timeout and come back with the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show in just a moment on the Dragons Sports Network.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all three major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium at halftime. Carroll up on Trinity 23-6 as we welcome you into the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. And our guest this week is Kim Bedwell, Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. You hear that name a lot because, Kim, you sponsor touchdowns here on the broadcast. And Carroll has scored a lot of touchdowns this year.
It's exciting. It's super exciting.
So what made you want to get involved with the broadcast? How did you wind up with touchdowns? That's something that we call a lot of during the season.
This is my 3rd year to sponsor the broadcast. I'm super, super excited on being able to be a part of it and give back and support the programs. My team and I, when we were, going through the plan for marketing and, things for my business and what it's going to look like, we have been committed to this, and we decided to add the touchdowns.
And why is it important for you guys to be involved in supporting Carroll ISD athletics?
Well, this is my home. We've lived here, over 20 years. I've got 2 dragons. They've both graduated from Carroll now. And I'd have to say probably my proudest moment right now is that my kids were prepared. When they left this district, they were prepared for the next chapter through all the amazing teachers that they crossed paths with, the coaches, the faculty that supported some of the programs my kids were involved in. So it's just been amazing experience, and we literally moved here to be Dragons.
And how long ago was that?
Like, oh gosh, I think 20 years.
To get them into Carroll ISD?
They started in kindergarten, and they were kindergrads. They went back and saw their kindergarten teachers. So it was so fun.
That's
that
awesome.
Tradition is amazing. So yeah, I think we see that. We see people move here for the quality of life and the schools and the excellence it brings, whether that's the sports programs, other clubs, the medical academy. I mean, there's just so much for the kids to have a place to get plugged into here, and I think there's something for everybody.
Now, you talk to a lot of people who are moving into Southlake, obviously, as a realtor. What are some of those things? School district, quality of life. What are some of the things you really highlight when you're talking to your clients about why moving to Southlake is something that fits them?
You know, it's interesting. A lot of people moving here usually have a couple of cities on the radar that they want to explore. And one of the things that I say about Southlake that really differentiates us is that we're a community. We're not a little small city. The traffic is getting a little bit worse around here. But other than that, it's really a community. We have the town square where the community gathers, and there's functions and events there. And I think being a Dragon, and everybody's a Dragon, whether you have kids in school or not, I see clients here that don't even have kids in school, but they're here to support the community. And I think that's literally, one of the things that makes us thrive.
You talked, well, first of all, I think the traffic's just getting worse in North Texas in general. It's hard to escape.
I know, it's terrible. Everybody's going back to work.
But talked about having kids come up through Carroll ISD. This may be a hard question, but do you have any favorite memories or experiences that kind of stick out to you over the course of those 12, 13 years in schools?
So my son was part of the 22 Dragon baseball team. He played third base, and they won the state championship. And I think as a family, it was super emotional and probably a moment that we will all remember and cherish.
So anything else you got going on with your company that you want folks to know about?
You know, we've got a lot of listings coming up, a lot of exciting things happening, and just rolling out some new homes. People are putting some things up for sale. We've got some buyers coming in. I've got buyers looking for certain things in the market that aren't there right now. So I'm just putting my ears to the ground and trying to reach out to my network of agents to see what they've got. And we're just going from there. We're seeing a little bit of a correction. So hopefully with the rate drop this week, we'll see some pickup in the buyer activity.
Now, if people want to see those listings or just reach you in general, what's the best way to do that?
I would just go to kimbedwell.com.
All right, and that's Kim Bedwell. Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate joining us at halftime. Thanks for being a part of the broadcast and making your way up to the booth tonight.
Hey, this is super fun. Thank you for having me.
Hey, this is a great crowd tonight. Trinity so and fun. Carroll, that's as good as it gets in Texas high school football.
I know. I used to teach elementary kids that fed into Trinity, so it's exciting to see this game.
All right, well, we'll let you go enjoy the rest of the game as well. Kim, thanks for the time.
Thanks, Chris.
It's Kim Bedwell with Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate joining us in the booth on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. Take a quick time out. Carroll up on the Trojans 23-6 at the break on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful Slim Shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
Hey, you Dragon fans, it's Julie Walter with the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title in Southlake. I have some great news for all you homeowners. With school and football in full swing, this season will still be a great time to buy, sell, or refinance your home. At the start of football season, we will still see families moving into the Southlake area. Call your friends at the Baker Firm to get more information, and I promise you we will provide a smooth closing from beginning to end for your Dragon family. With our real estate attorney, Chris Baker, on hand 24/7, you will be sure to score a touchdown closing in our office. Protect the tradition with the Baker Firm.
Feed Store Barbecue on Whitechapel Boulevard in Southlake's been serving up great food to Dragon fans for over 20 years. Chopped brisket, pulled pork, and their signature ribs are just some of the reasons that people in Dragon Nation love Feed Store Barbecue. Call-in orders are welcome. They'd be happy to bring it out to your car if you want them to, or your truck. Order online at feedstorebbq.com and go Dragons.
You can trust your medical care at Southlake Dermatology. We have over 65 years of experience between Dr. Bowers, Dr. Tynard, and our 4 physician assistants. We treat a wide range of medical, surgical, and cosmetic concerns ranging from skin cancer, hair loss, rashes, increased sweating, and anti-aging. There are multiple new options for hair loss, such as Nutrafol supplements and PRP injections. View our services online at southlakedermatology.com.
Welcome back, Dragon fans. Robert Clayton here with Mike Mills, a big sponsor of the broadcast here tonight with Mills Wealth Management. Welcome, Mike. How are you doing?
Man, doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's a great ball game tonight. Great atmosphere.
Love it.
Green out. We have the stadium just about sold out. If sold out, so
got Dragon Youth here.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You just love seeing it. Because a lot of these players, right, they were in that youth group running through this field one time. Now they're on Fridays playing. So, well, you know, Mike, I know you've been in Dragon, you know, the community for such a long time, and just opportunity for the viewers to kind of hear your Dragon story.
Yeah.
You know, I love doing it. You know, I love getting business owners here in town, but also you've had Dragons through here. And tell us about your experience.
Yeah, we've had 3 of them. And so Allie right now, she graduated. She was a soccer player. Ended up state championship soccer player back in the day.
Wow.
And then went to Wyoming, and now she's at law school at Baylor.
Oh, how incredible is Wyoming? Was that a cool experience?
Oh, it was awesome.
Was it?
Yeah, she really loved it. Played soccer up there for a while, and, you know, up there in the country. And,
yeah,
you know,
Caden Anderson, former QB, he's up there as well.
Yep.
So
saw him a lot.
Yeah.
And then Ty Marie, my middle one, was my cheerleader.
Yeah.
She's at A&M right now, about to finish up.
Oh, incredible experience.
Yeah, it's been good. And then the baby is MJ, and he's a basketball player.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he loves football. But,
yeah. Well, hey, you got to go somewhere, right?
You got to specialize, right?
You do. I had to quit basketball freshman year. I got dunked on in a game, and I go, I'm turning my jersey, and I'm stick with football. So
that's right.
Well, good. Well, you know, tell us a little bit about supporting the broadcast and just supporting, you know, just the Dragon community. You know, what does that mean to you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we drank the Dragon blood early.
Right.
We've been here a long time. I think almost 25 years.
Yeah.
It's a long time. Yeah, just, you know, we try to volunteer everywhere we can over the years, and, you know,
we joke about it. We joke about my family is that, you know, we moved out here to the Promised Land, and that's when we had a Dairy Queen and a Walmart, and it was great living.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, when I was at the academy, one of my buddies I played football with was named Colby Hafer, and he was from here, you know, back in 3A when they won the state championship back in 95, I think, or 94, something like that, in the 90s.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, we called him Country Colby.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, we got here after I got out. I was like, "There's no country here."
I had no idea Southlake even existed. I came home one day and my dad loaded up his '85 Cadillac and goes, "Hey, we're gonna go out take a drive." And we went to North Southlake, and he got out. He had about 4 or 5 lawnmowers out, and he goes, "Yeah, kids, get out and mow the lawn. We're moving to Southlake." We're like, "What is Southlake?" We had no idea, but we're glad we're here.
Good spot.
Yeah. Well, you know. Tell me this, you know, your favorite Dragon moment of all time.
Oh,
I know it's hard. I know it's hard.
It's probably when Riley and them was under center at that year.
Yeah.
We watched all the football games all the year, but whenever he threw up and then threw the touchdown, that was pretty good.
The infamous YouTube video everyone talks about.
There's a lot more, but that was a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. Well, let's talk about you. Let's talk about Mills Wealth Management. Tell me a little bit what you do and what you provide to your clients.
Yeah, so we're fiduciary-based financial planners. We've been around a long time. We usually begin with a plan and then try just to provide confidence and clarity to our clients.
I love that.
So we've been doing it for a long time. We've got an amazing team. We've got a deep bench. Everybody has different specialties, and but we do tax planning. We have a CPA on staff.
That's awesome.
But mostly we're just trying to help business leaders make smart decisions about their wealth.
Yeah.
As your financial situation gets more complex,
yeah,
there's just more and more, complexities that arise, the emotional complexities.
What are some of the things you're seeing in the market right now? We're talking a little bit outside. What do you see without giving financial advice?
No, for sure. I think today, obviously, markets aren't as cheap as they once were.
Right.
We've had, it's one of the best runs of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, there's some speculation in the market. Obviously, we're going into a slowing environment, and so we've been just telling people now's probably a really good time to run the fire drill.
Right.
To really think about, if it may keep going. I mean, that's not to mean it's going to roll over. I mean, but you just want to make sure that you reassess risk. I think all the time, especially after big moves in the market, in any investment.
Well, tell me a little bit. How do customers reach you? How do they get a hold of you?
millswealthadvisors.com.
Okay, that's simple.
Yeah, it's very simple.
millswealthadvisors.com. So you heard it here. If you're looking for financial planning or just, I think, overall planning and life planning, you're the one-stop shop here in Southlake.
We've been here a long time. We'll love to help you.
How long have you been here in Southlake?
We've been almost 27 years.
Incredible.
Yeah, we started off in Grapevine over there by the lake, and in the Southlake School District, and then moved over later on. But we've been here a long time. Sherry's
awesome.
Volunteered around. It's been fun.
Yeah,
it's good stuff.
Well, thank you for
great
everything.
community.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you for everything you do for Dragon Community, and
thank you.
And thank you for coming out tonight and being a sponsor. We're so grateful for it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, thanks, sir.
This is Pastors John and Todd from White's Chapel in Southlake. White's Chapel is a church where it's all about Jesus. We're a place where real people make genuine connections, where it's okay not to be okay.
We're a church where grace is a lifestyle and where everyone has a place, from the lifelong believer to the unchurched or de-churched. We're here for you, and we'd like to invite you to join us for worship this weekend. Go Dragons!
Hello, Dragon fans. I'm Stephen Nelson, partner at Mills Wealth. Our team is celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping Dragons succeed financially. As an independent firm, we aren't owned by a bank or an insurance company. Instead, we're fiduciaries doing only what we believe is best for our clients. If your finances need a second opinion or would like to tap into our expertise, come meet with our certified financial planners or CPAs and learn how we can help you win just like the Dragons. Look us up online or give us a call at millswealthadvisors.com.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. The score at the half, Carroll 23, Trinity 6. We continue on the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. We've heard from Kim Bedwell, Mike Mills so far tonight at halftime. Chris Blake alongside Robert Clayton as we get you set for the second half. Let's take you through some of the stats from half number 1, courtesy of our statistician tonight, Monty Clegg. For the Dragons, Angelo Renda, very efficient, 8 of 9 for 109 yards, 1 touchdown. On the ground, 3 carries for 6 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Renda so far tonight. Also on the ground, Davis Penn, 8 carries, 34 yards. Brooks Biggers, 1 carry for 5 yards. Through the air, receivers for the Dragons, Brock Boyd, 3 grabs for 29 yards. Caden Mackey, 2 for 27. Brody Knowles, 1 for 36 and a touchdown. That came after the Dragons recovered an onside kick. And Davis Penn, 1 reception for 7 yards. For the Trojans, Mac Lineweaver, the quarterback, 8 of 9 for 43 yards and a touchdown. So a lot of short passes for the junior. He's also been sacked a couple of times. Lineweaver has carried twice for 9 yards. The leading rusher is J.T. Harris. He's got 12 carries for 86 yards. Zorian Palmore, the backup running back, 4 carries for 23 yards. Keandre Dixon, 1 carry for a yard. And the fullback, Jaden Hollins, 3 carries for 3 yards. 122 yards on the ground for the Trojans. And through the air for Trinity, just 43 yards on those 8 completions, as I mentioned, 2 each to Tayshawn Ifon and Jalen Donaldson, 1 to Trent Turner, 1 to J.T. Harris, and 1 to the tight end, Cohen Fiafia, and 1, Robert, to the quarterback.
You don't see that often, Chris. That's a it came from a deflection from Will Lines and heads-up play by Lineweaver getting to the ball and making something out of nothing, which we've seen him a few times tonight do that. He's
used his legs as well to make something happen. Let's talk about a couple of scores from around the area. 2 games last night that jumped out to me. One in North Crowley, the 3rd-ranked team in the state falls at home to Rockwall, 37-35. North Crowley, of course, the defending 6A Division I state champion, beat Rockwall 70-17 in this matchup last year, but Rockwall scores the game-winning touchdown with 22 seconds left, ending Crowley's 19-game winning streak and the first regular season loss for North Crowley since 2021.
Yeah, I think that's the upset so far of the year. A lot of people had North Crowley poised to make another run at the state championship as well. Again, it's only 1 loss. They can still make it up in here in the playoffs.
And not in district play, so still District 3-6A wide open for North Crowley. Another one last night, just kind of a fun note, Wakeland and Reedy up in Frisco. Wakeland wins 14-10. Grayson Meyer of Wakeland plays both ways, starts on both sides of the ball, so the game was 14-10. He scored both touchdowns and had 2 interceptions in the game. So I don't think you can have a much better individual night than Grayson Meyer.
Player of the week on both sides? Or?
Maybe.
Okay.
Tonight, let's take a look around District 4-6A at Pennington Field tonight, where Trinity plays its home games. LD Bell and Keller are tied at 14. That game is at halftime. High-scoring game at Northwest ISD Stadium. Eaton and Northwest tied at 24 at halftime. So a lot of points being put up in that one. And Timber Creek and Central are tied at 14 at the half at Keller ISD Stadium. Byron Nelson has its bye week this week. Remember, a 9-team district, so each week during the season there will be a bye for somebody. Lots of other games going on tonight. North Forney up on Mansfield Lake Ridge, 28-7. That one interesting. Lake Ridge was off to its best start in the last couple of years. They started the year 3-0 after going 1-19 over the last 2 seasons, but appear to be ticketed for their first loss. Allen, one of the top teams in the state, all over Plano, 28-0 at halftime. Other games going on in the area right now, a top 20 matchup in the state, Duncanville up on Waxahachie 20-9. Waxahachie, one of the teams in that district that's getting a little bit of attention this year. They've got a quarterback that's going to play at the next level, and have played a lot of these tough teams down there really close early this season.
Well, yeah, it's a team we saw in the scrimmage that you could see the talent. It was a matter of putting it together. And I'm not going to say that this game by end of tonight isn't a little bit closer with Waxahachie and Duncanville.
But I think you've got your iPad out.
Oh gosh.
Are we? We've got a few minutes left in halftime. Are we going to the replay room tonight?
Let's get about one or two in and see if we can build on last week, Chris.
All right, let's see if we can get a couple of replays here on Robert's replay room. He's got the iPad out. He's got the markers out, ready to go.
Wristbands are going as well.
First play here, one of the first Carroll touchdown after that onside kick to put the Dragons up 14-0.
And this is a big play. You saw Biggers coming there out of the backfield. He's going to escape on a wheel route. He's going to keep the corner just in check. And you can see here, right here, the safety doesn't really know where to go. It frees up Knowles there for the touchdown. And great job, wide open. Not much you can do about it.
So that was the second Dragon touchdown of the night. Here we see the fumble recovery by Carroll. Palmore getting sandwiched in the backfield by a couple of Dragon defenders and loses the handle.
And we talked about when Palmore gets the ball, he's an extension of a running back. You know he's going to get it. And so you just see Crawford Taylor just unscathed. We talked about the pulling ability of Katoa, not very good there on the edge. And great job by the first step of Crawford Taylor making the play, and great pickup by Parker Harris.
So that was just the second turnover forced by this Carroll defense this year, but it came at a big spot. Now here for Trinity, Mac Lineweaver. This is the pass he completes to himself. He gets batted up in the air, and he's the one that comes down with it.
And again, it's a big play by Will Lyons. It would have been a huge play. But again, coming in, and great job on just making some penetration by Oakley. But watch Lyons right here makes a huge play, fakes the camera guy out. Again, it is tipped. I'm going crazy on this little stencil. And then you see Mac Lineweaver catch the ball, and he's just going to go. Heads up play by Lineweaver. Again, he's made a few of those plays tonight, just either with that or his legs, making something out of nothing.
Now the blocked extra point by Jake Lucky.
We talk about the Superman look and great scoop and score by Gavin Strange, but we talk about the low center of gravity of Jake Lucky, and watch him explode through this offensive line, this field goal team. Big guys right here, and watch him. He's just going to come darting through the line. Oh, right here. And watch him just extend. Huge play. Great job by the big man, sacrificing his body. And then something more than Gavin Strange scooping and scoring and taking it.
The best part of that play was when Jake Lucky got up off the ground. He was down for a minute after taking the boot, taking the worst part of that kick from Boye, but when he got up, got the crowd fired up, was jumping off the field.
It's a lot of effort for a big man. You got to sit there and catch your breath and make it a little dramatic, and you got to get up and get pumped up. Enjoy your moment, big guy.
Well, that blocked extra point gave Carroll a couple of more tallies on the board, made it 23-6 at the half, and that is where we stand now. We'll take one more timeout before the third quarter begins. You're watching the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
Are you considering buying or selling your home in Southlake? I'm Kim Bedwell with Briggs Freeman Sotheby's International Realty, and I would love to assist you. Recognized as one of the top professionals in Southlake by both industry peers and clients, I am a proud mother of 2 dragons and have been a resident of this amazing community for over 20 years. I know Southlake inside and out, and I am committed to ensuring your real estate journey is seamless and successful. You can find me at kimbedwell.com. Kim Bedwell Real Estate, delivering the highest level of experience and results in Southlake and beyond. Go Dragons!
Welcome back to Dragon Stadium. Just about ready to get the third quarter started as we wrap up the Feed Store Barbecue halftime show. And before we get to the start of the second half, let's revisit, I should say, Robert, your keys to the game.
Yeah, again, I think strike first and strike fast, Chris. We've seen that by the Dragons tonight. The first ones to score, they did it quickly, and they've executed on the opportunities they have been given, and they've done a terrific job. Now, on number 2, wreck the game plan. And we talked about Trinity, what they're going to want to do. Their identity is to run and get behind the tackles and the guards and really control the possession of the game. Unfortunately, they haven't been able to do that. They're playing behind the chains. They're getting penalty after penalty after penalty that's ruining opportunities for the offense, and it's put them in a tough spot. Then I think you own the clock, you own the game, and I think more or less than just the clock, maybe just own the possessions. And I think Southlake has owned the possessions, and they've made the most of them. Now, the only thing that I will caution us on is we were sitting in the same position last year at halftime. And we were into a thriller for the second half. So, the big thing here, Chris, is the Dragons get the ball at half. And again, that's another opportunity for the Dragon team to put points on the board, because this Trinity team's going to come out hungry. They're going to make some adjustments, and they're going to get after the Dragons.
Yeah, last year in this game, the score at halftime was 35-14 in favor of Carroll. Trinity outscored the Dragons 20-7. In the third quarter, and from there we remember it was just back and forth the rest of the way. An exciting finish, but a little bit of a heart stopper for the Dragons. So Carroll hoping that is not the case today, trying to hold the Trojans off the board early as Carroll retakes the field here to start the third quarter. The crowd sticking around tonight. We mentioned earlier in the game the full house here at Dragon Stadium tonight. Looking good all the way to the corners on either side of the stands. Great to see here. And then the visitor side pretty full too. So just overall a great atmosphere for a high school football game between these two storied programs.
And I know these kids have games in the morning. I know the parents want to get them home, but this is such a huge game, and it's quite the experience if you're a Dragon fan. So stay tuned, stay glued to the TV. It's going to be an incredible half.
Well, Carroll does get the ball first here in the second half. And Carroll's offense has looked good so far tonight. Carroll's only had to punt once today. And they'll take the field with Brock Boyd and Parker Harris back deep to receive here to begin the third quarter. Reminder that tonight's broadcast and all of our broadcasts presented by White's Chapel Methodist Church have been our presenting sponsor for the last 3 seasons. Always grateful for their support.
Looking forward to having the team from Whitechapel here with us. It is always an incredible experience.
It's like a comedy show in the booth.
You'll love it, love it. And they know all the history as well, so I mean, we can't wait to have them up here.
There is Jaden Boyer, the kicker for the Trojans, who had that extra point attempt blocked. You don't often see a left-footed kicker, but Boyer kicking from the left side. Back to Boyd and Harris. Carroll's got an extra man up front as Trinity lines up, or at least shows that they may try something here. But Boyer will kick it deep. It's going to be fielded by Harris at the 10-yard line, running across right to left, gets a block across the 25-30, and Harris is going to be tackled as he crosses the 40-yard line. Big return for the Dragon Junior.
How about the special teams of the Carroll Dragons, whether it's flipping the field on a punt or blocking a kick, but then Parker Harris showing the burst, getting the ball almost out the midfield. What a start for the Dragon offense.
For the Dragon senior, I should say, Parker Harris. Give him the extra year of experience on the field for Carroll. So the Dragons offense takes over in great field position at the 42-yard line. Davis Penn at running back to get it started in the third quarter for Carroll. Knowles, the lone receiver on the left side of the formation. They throw it in the flat to Mackey at the line of scrimmage. Gets forward for a gain of about 3 to the 45-yard line before he's driven back by a flurry of Trojan defenders.
We've seen that play run a few times by Riley here, especially in the first half. Great job by Meredith coming down and spilling that, and that's what they got to do. You come down in the flats, you've got to beat that block so they don't capture the edge on you. Good job by John Meredith, showing why he's one of the most talented cornerbacks in the country.
A second down on the right hash. They fake it to Penn. Renda looking to throw over the middle, has Gunter, and it falls incomplete. In coverage for the Trojans was Caleb Adam.
They had it right where they wanted, a little post down the middle. They had the coverage they wanted, and you know Blake wants that back. He's a sure-handed receiver. But again, third down territory where we haven't seen the Dragons a lot this game.
Carroll on third down so far today, 4 for 5. Dragons 80% so far tonight on third down. Play clock down to 8 as they look to the sideline. It ticks down to 5. They get it off with 1 on the play clock. Renda looking to throw quick to Gunter, has the catch across the 45 for the Dragon Den first down. They go right back to Blake Gunter. This time he hauls it in to move the chains.
A great response by Blake Gunter. A quick slant there on the left. And again, taking care of the soft coverage, getting beneath it, getting to the sticks, moving the change. Great pitch and catch by Angelo Renda to Blake Gunter.
They run a 4th receiver onto the field here on first down as Fraga comes off. Mackey back into the game. Again, Knowles all by himself on the left side. Mackey goes in motion. Renda will throw again. Has time. Going to take a shot towards the end zone. Looking for Boyd inside the 5 and into the end zone for 6.
You absolutely love it. You talk about what we saw at the beginning of the game. These crossing routes are going to be key for Carroll. They use Mackey really on a decoy in the crossing route. You saw the safety bite down. It allows Boyd to get open behind the defense. And what a pitch and catch from Renda to Boyd. Touchdown, Dragons.
43 yards on the pitch and catch from Renda to Boyd for the Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate touchdown. And Carroll will come on for the point after try presented by CLC Roofing. Second passing touchdown for Renda tonight. First one went to Knowles for 36 yards, so both touchdowns through the air have been on deep balls for the Dragons.
What a play call by Riley Dodge. And that's what we talk about, the little things that you see during the week that you can exploit. And when you have this dangerous of a receiving core, there's a lot of things you can do on the offensive side of the ball.
So Strange racking up the points on special teams tonight. Puts another one through. And less than 90 seconds into the third quarter, the score is Carroll 30 and Trinity 6 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Baum, General Manager at Hearst and Louisville Autoplex. We are longtime supporters of all things Dragons. This season, if you want to show up to the game in style, come see me or Brees Higgins, where we have the largest selection of late model, high-end, pre-owned trucks and SUVs. As a family-owned and operated dealership, we'll treat you like part of our family. Come see us on either side of the Metroplex and get a new ride today. Shop us online 24/7 at HurstAutoplex.com. Go Dragons!
Recoat Revolution, your one-day floor solution. I'm Joe Worrell, Southlake resident, Air Force veteran, and proud father of 2 dragons. Our one-day sandless, dustless process refreshes flooring without the mess, smell, and expense of traditional refinishing. If your floors have damage, wear from furniture, or even little dragon talons, we can tackle those issues to have you back in a clean home that night. Sandless, dustless, odorless, done by dinner. Recoat Revolution. Go Dragons!
Carroll strikes first in the second half, leading Trinity 30-6 after the Brock Boyd touchdown reception for Brock, his 5th TD of the year. And Carroll will kick it away. They're showing an onside kick look again. Strange will kick it away. Little pooch kick along the sideline. That's going to go out of bounds. So that'll give Trinity a little bit of help field position-wise.
Kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5 yards is added to the out-of-bounds spot. First down.
They talk about what we had to do, the Dragons coming out of halftime, getting the ball back. You know, essentially what Riley Dodge wanted to do with this Dragon team is take it the length of the field. Great kick return on opening play. Great field position. Executing, getting the ball in the end zone.
Trinity's elected to take the ball at the 30-yard line. First down.
Yeah, that scoring drive for Carroll, 4 plays, 58 yards in 1 minute and 19 seconds after a good kick return by Parker Harris to open the half. So Trinity will try to get something going here offensively. JT Harris met in the backfield, nothing there. Crawford Taylor on the stop.
Incredible job by Crawford Taylor. Again, his first step is so tremendous. He can get in the backfield quick, and he makes a disruption. We're talking about creating havoc in the backfield, disrupting the play. Great job, Crawford Taylor.
Trinity loses 2 on the play, and it's not what their offense is really built for, but down 24 points early in the second half, you would imagine Trinity going to have to go to the air some here as Lineweaver looks to throw down the right sideline through the hands of Tayshawn Ifan and incomplete.
It's a tough position for Mac Lineweaver to be in. It's not something you do an awful lot, and you know, expectations of the receiving core as well. It's not easy to go out there, and so you know, if you're Trinity, you're searching for some type of solution to get above the chains.
A 3rd and long again for Trinity. They've been backed up in these 3rd and long situations often tonight and have not had a ton of 3rd down success. In the first half, Trinity just 2 for 6 on 3rd down. Lineweaver looking to throw, steps up, slings it, it's picked off, intercepted by the Dragons. Parker Harris again, his 2nd turnover of the game.
Parker Harris is just having a phenomenal game today, whether it's on defense, special teams. You call his name, he is he is delivering tonight, and great job just sitting down and, again, allowing Trinity just to unfold what they don't really do great and just sitting down, waiting for the ball. Great interception. This Dragon defense is something special.
Turnover is brought to you by Paragon Designs. Turn over your next remodel or new home design to Paragon Designs. They'll feel like a broken record, but good field position for the Dragons again here at the Trojan 45. Biggers into the game at running back to start this series. On first down, Renda pumps once, now does throw to Mackey in the flat, gets across the 40, 35 out of bounds, has enough for the Dragon Den first down.
I love that battle there on the perimeter with Boyd and Meredith, going one-to-one on those blockings and calling Caden Mackey out tonight, doing a terrific job in that little pop play there, getting behind line of scrimmage, getting the flats, getting upfield, getting the first down.
There is a Trojan player slow to get up after that play. So play will stop momentarily here as he is tended to near the far sideline. And you mentioned Mackey having a big night. That was his 4th reception of the day. On the year, Mackey came in 7 catches for 58 yards. Tonight he's got 42 receiving yards, so that puts him right at 100 for the year. We're still taking a look at the Trojan player who is down, now up to his feet for Trinity is Elijah Smith. That's one of the starting linebackers for this team. Walking off gingerly, but without any assistance.
He hopes the young man's okay. Elijah Smith is one guy that, again, Coach Lineweaver mentioned has really developed, from spring to now and has been a tremendous impact for this Trojan defense.
First down for Carroll at the 33. Biggers remains in the game at running back. We haven't seen Harrison Phillips as much tonight as we have in the first 3 games of the season. He's been out there for a handful of snaps as Renda pumps, now takes a shot down the left side looking for Knowles. It is incomplete. The official took a moment to signal. I thought Brody may have had it for a second, but he lost it on the way down.
A great fake by Renda. I think you're going to come out to Caden Mackey again, but tries to catch the Trojan defense sleeping and going over the top where only, Knowles can get it, and he almost came down with a wonderful catch.
Running step for step with the defender. It's Dontrell Johnson in coverage at 2nd and 10. Replay is brought to you by Recoat Revolution. 3 receivers left. Renda gives to Biggers up the middle. Has a couple of yards before he's brought down at the 31.
Getting back to the zone concept for the Dragons, milk some of this time off the clock, be mindful of it, get some yardage, get a manageable 3rd down.
Jack Amard checking into the game for Carroll here. 2 receivers left. Tight end to the right side for the Dragons. Jack Amard motions out to the left side. They give it to Biggers again. Big hole right side across the 35 and is brought down there. Or across the 25, I should say. Looked like there might be room for more, but one of the Trojans got hold of his legs and was able to bring him down just before he broke 3.
The development of the vision of Biggers over week 1 to now has been incredible. Getting right behind there, Nathan Dumrocky and Tristan Dare, and getting his head down and trying to get that first down. Great 4th down position.
Dragons going to go for it on 4th down. At their own, or at the Trojan 24. Four down lineman for Trinity this time. They give it to Biggers again. He's got the first to move the chains. A Dragon Den first down.
Great job by Will Marley, the left guard. He's come on so strong since the start of the season as well. Great job removing his counterpart on defensive line, opening the hole for Biggers to get that Dragon first down.
First downs brought to you by Dragon Den, located here in Dragon Stadium. It's the official store for Dragon Spirit Wear. Fraga, the tight end, on the right side of the set. 3 receivers left. Renda throws into the flat. Gunter again makes 1 defender miss, makes 2 defenders miss, and is finally hit by Moatow and Davis after a gain of about 7 on the play.
What a play by Blake Gunter again. This is all Blake Gunter's second effort. He has the defender right in front of him, makes a juke, goes to the outside, comes back to the inside. Terrific job by getting upfield and getting towards the first down marker.
Second and short for the Dragons. Ball on the left hash. They keep 3 receivers on that short side of the field. Trinity safeties shaded that way as well. Biggers again. Running right up the gut. Has another first down inside the 10-yard line.
Excellent cutback by Biggers. Pushing it front side, hitting it backside by Luke Wilson, and getting the first down. Tremendous job.
And it seems like the Carroll offense is starting to really start to wear down this Trinity defense on the ground. But we do have a Trojan player down once again, so let's take a quick timeout as they tend to him with 6:29 to go in the third quarter. It's Carroll 30 and Trinity 6 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Dr. Angela Bowers would like to invite you to visit Southlake Dermatology, which serves patients throughout the Metroplex in medical, surgical, and cosmetic dermatology. We recommend always using a zinc oxide sunscreen, such as Elta MD, and utilizing HelioCare, which is a sun protective pill. We have seen the incidence of skin cancers on the rise, including melanoma, which is the most harmful type. With yearly skin checks, we will be able to find skin cancer much earlier. Read about skin cancer and sunscreen options online at southlakedermatology.com.
As a Dragon, it's all about protecting the tradition. As a church, it's our mission to make more deeply committed followers of Jesus. This is Todd Renner from White's Chapel in Southlake. For over 150 years, White's Chapel has been a part of this community. And though times have changed, our need for the gospel of Jesus Christ, our need to worship and grow and serve, our need to shine the light into the darkness hasn't. That's why White's Chapel is a church where tradition meets today.
Elijah Smith walking off again for the Trojans. He left the game a few plays ago. Felt good enough to come back in, but now stayed down a little bit longer this time and slowly walking off the field. Again, under his own power, but apparently shaken up. For Carroll, it is 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. Renda hands to Biggers, working his way through the line and into the end zone for the touchdown. Carroll goes up 30, 36-6.
What a statement by Biggers. Juking and jiving and wiggling through the offensive line into the second level. Great vision. Talked about his vision. Watch the cut. 1, 2, 3. Finds pay dirt. Tremendous running, young man. Great job.
Touchdowns brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate, as Gavin Strains comes on for the CLC Roofing extra point. Out of the snap of Cody Williford, the hold of Luke Jacquemard. The kick is up and good. With 6:16 to go in the third quarter, it's Carroll 37 and Trinity 6 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, did you hear? Somebody didn't want Feed Store barbecue. That's right, it's true. One fella the other day, he wanted Feed Store chicken fried steak, and another asked for a Feed Store hamburger. And one scamp, well, he even had the nerve to ask for Feed Store burn-ins. Yeah, Feed Store is famous for its barbecue, but there's so much more. Order online at feedstorebbq.com. And go Dragons.
Dragon fans, the wait is over. The Dragon Den is your one-stop shop for spirit wear, gear, and everything green, black, and white. Show your pride and represent Southlake Carroll everywhere you go. Protect the tradition and shop at the Den. We are open every Tuesday and Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and all freshman, JV, and varsity home games. The Dragon Den is the perfect spot to gear up for game day. Go Dragons!
Dragons up big now, 37-6 over Trinity. High kick by Strange will be returnable for the Trojans. Big hit on special teams delivered by Carroll as Strange coming in off the kickoff to deliver the blow.
You got to love the Dragon special teams. You know, you have starters on starters, playing in those positions. No matter if you're a starting guy on defense, you're on special teams as well. You're going to make your mark, and that's what you love about it. Back in the older days of Southlake, we had a saying, like, guy wide, get in on it. No matter who you were and what you played, you sacrificed on special teams.
On first down, they run a quarterback keeper. Lineweaver surging forward for a few yards there. Lineweaver has had a tough night at the quarterback position. He's been hit a few times, thrown an interception. This Trojan offense tries to get something going. They keep it on the ground again. Running hard is Harris, still on his feet, now falls forward to the 23.
Good job again, Parker Harris coming out of that safety position, making the huge plays right there on the midline. It's tough. If you're Mac Lineweaver, it's not easy against this Carroll defense, and especially when you've had some frustrating moments just as the offense as a whole. You can almost sense it, the body language on the field right now, Chris.
3rd down and 3. They're going to pitch it outside. Harris not going to get anywhere. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage and stopped by Robbie Ladd. And a flag comes out after the play. Couple of flags out. Some chirping going on between the Dragons and the Trojans. The officials talk it over. The emotions starting to run a little bit higher down there on the field.
This is where you have to be careful, too. It starts to get chippy on both sides. There's frustrations mounting on the offensive side. You had a big play, put him into a 4th down. You hate to give him a 1st down from a penalty like this.
It happened along the Dragon sideline, so some of the Carroll coaching
There
staff.
are 2 fouls, both on the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 9. Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 12. 15 yards is added to the end of the run. It's an automatic 1st down. That's the first unsportsmanlike foul for both 9 and 12.
You can see along the Dragon sideline, the coaching staff not pleased. Some of the Dragon defenders getting an earful from their coaches along that home sideline.
Yeah, if you're defensive coordinator, Coach Munn, you're frustrated, right? You make the right calls, and you put the defense in a situation to create an opportunity, a 4th down, and then you have a penalty like that. It's much like how probably Trinity's offense coordinator felt in the first half, is just getting them behind the chains and then giving an opportunity for no reason.
So 1st down for the Trojans. Harris will get it again, trying to outrun lines to the edge, gets across the 40 and tripped up right at midfield. That'll be enough to move the chains for a Dragon Den 1st down.
And this is part of the frustration, because if you give an inch, Trinity can take a mile, and you give them opportunities. They're a very talented team. They're a deep backfield, and you got to limit those opportunities, and that's why you see the frustration from the Carroll coaches.
We did see the Trojan offense get into a rhythm on their one scoring drive in the first half. Did it with a lot of short receiver screens, even a tight end screen. They keep it on the ground again here. Harris going to be tied up, and they're going to whistle him dead behind the line of scrimmage. Will Lines there had him.
A great job by, you saw Will Lines, but you also saw Chin come in. He got back into the play. He's the one who came down on the outside edge, forced it from hitting the outside and forcing it back into the inside. A great job by Chin on being a force player.
So they got him behind the chains again. 2nd and long here. 2nd and 13. Under 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lineweaver will throw. Looking right sideline, and a little miscommunication there with Tayshawn Ifan. He was not yet turned around looking for the football when Lineweaver let it go.
You've seen this a few times with Tayshawn Ifan and Lineweaver. Just looks like they're not on the same page as a quarterback receiver, just timing-wise on the routes. Mac expecting here a little comeback route, and Tayshawn wasn't even out of his route yet.
So a 3rd and long again for the Trojans. Dragons have had them in these situations all night. Lineweaver gives to Harris. Hole across the 50, 45, 40. First down across the 40-yard line. Finally stopped there by Parker Harris.
JT Harris is so explosive, Chris. I tell you what, he can get underneath his pads and he can go. Tremendous runner. Done a great job. He's really been the lifeblood of this Trinity offense all night tonight. I'm just trying to move the ball at somewhat speed down the field. And I'll tell you what, he is electrifying when he gets in the open.
He goes over 100 yards on the night with that carry. 18 carries for 110 yards. He's picking his way through here. Works his way forward for a gain of a couple as we tick under 3 minutes to go in the third. Rouse on the stop. And we talked about the night that these Dragon defensive linemen would be having going up against this big Trinity offensive line, but the defensive ends in particular for Carroll have been really effective tonight.
They've done a great job on just closing down the opportunity for the counters and really displacing the hole, forcing it outside. Sometimes Trinity has hit it, sometimes they haven't. But all in all, they've limited, the pulling guards, the countering tackles, doing that and spilling it and forcing it over the top.
Trinity tried to set up the screen for Harris there. The pass fell incomplete. And it will be 3rd and 10. 3 plays ago on 3rd and 12, they kept it on the ground with Harris, and he was able to pick up the necessary yardage to move the chains. See if they can do it again. On the draw to him this time, trying to get outside on the right, makes a couple of guys miss, and brought down at the 35-yard line. Stop there made by Parker Harris. Parker Harris is having a heck of a night out of the secondary for Carroll.
I feel like every other player we're mentioning Parker Harris. He's doing a tremendous job, and he's such an unbelievable player in that back. And, last year, Chris, he was one of the guys that was about to flip down and play running back due to injuries. And he was close to making that call come playoff time. But I tell you what, he is a terrific football player. He just knows how to make plays.
He's got a fumble recovery and an interception tonight. And Trinity's going to go for it on 4th down. Lineweaver throws over the middle, caught by the tight end. Ball comes out after the play, and it looks like the Dragons have it again. If it was a completion, and I believe they did call it a completion on the field, it was Austin Busman coming up with the loose ball.
Yeah, great job. It was a connection, with Lineweaver to the tight end. But what a heads-up play by Will Lines, creating the fumble, and then Austin Busman to have the awareness and get the fumble recovery. Again, opportunity knocks. The Dragons take advantage of it. Another takeaway for this Dragon defense.
Yeah, 3 turnovers tonight by the Trojans offense. Carroll has capitalized on them so far. We hadn't seen a ton of takeaways from this Carroll defense through the first 3 games, just the one against Byron Nelson last week, but they're coming away with the turnovers tonight. So empty backfield to start here for the Dragons. Renda throws right side. The pass is complete to Boyd, trying to pick his way through, but is going to be tackled, and they'll stop forward progress.
You can get 5 yards at a time. Again, we're just throwing it out the flats because of the soft coverage, Chris, and this is an issue when you have skilled receivers like the Dragons that aren't afraid to block. They're going to get on you like pit bulls, and they're going to allow the receiver to get upfield and make 5 yards. I mean, you can dink them all the way down the field. Trinity needs to come up and play some type of tighter man, take away their on those short throws.
Receiver goes in motion for Carroll. Renda takes the snap, throws into the flat. Mackey, they've gone to him a lot in that spot. Spins out a 1 tackle and gets enough for the first down. He's shown how elusive he can be when he's faced with one-on-one situations. Picks up a Dragon Den first down.
I said he can do it on the mound, but I tell you what, him playing in space as a receiver, especially tonight when his name is called, and you're talking about the bell cows and Knowles and Boyd sacrificing, just being blockers tonight. And, Mackey just doing a terrific job once he gets the ball and gets in space, getting upfield.
Penn into the game at running back. Gunter motions out to the right. Davis keeps it, spins off of 1 tackle and falls to the 39. Gain of about 5.
So one of the first times we've seen Davis Penn this half. Big stalwart there in the first half. You saw Biggers come in the first drive, get into the end zone.
It's the end of the third quarter.
So that wraps up quarter number 3 on that run by Davis Penn. We are headed to the 4th. It is Carroll 37, Trinity 6 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hello, Dragon fans. Julie Walter here from the Baker Firm, Fidelity National Title, located right here in Southlake. It's Dragon football season, and as a mother of 4 former Dragons, I truly know how busy our fall schedules can get. At the Baker Firm, we provide great customer service with our knowledgeable escrow team, and we pride ourselves with a boutique-style title office that will close our customers anywhere in the DFW area. So, as you get ready to sell, buy, or refinance your home, be sure to tell your local agent or lender you want to close with the Baker Firm, and you are sure to score a touchdown.
Start of the 4th quarter here at Dragon Stadium. Chris Blake, Robert Clayton with you as Carroll has a 31-point lead on the 8th-ranked team in the state of Texas tonight, the Trinity Trojans. 2nd down for Carroll. They get it to Boyd, right side, has blocking in front of him, hit from behind, but he falls forward across midfield for the first down. Big block on the outside by Blake Gunter to spring Boyd.
Chris, the pancake that Gunter just served up, I need some syrup here. That was a clinic shot. Unbelievable block by Blake Gunter. Talk about finish to the whistle. Tremendous job, young man.
It was on Dontrell Johnson, the cornerback. So we got to look at the Recoat Revolution replay.
Watch Boyd. Great reception by Boyd, but just watch the effort by Blake Gunter here. Terrific job.
Taking Johnson completely out of the play. Hit made from behind by Sir Mims, who was a little bit slow to get up himself.
If you're sitting at home and you're watching this and you're a young Dragon, you've got to think to yourself, that play had nothing to do with him catching the ball. It was him making effort and blocking and sacrificing himself. This is what being a Dragon is all about.
Talk about it seems like every week, but Riley Dodge puts a lot of emphasis on blocking for his receivers. It's hard to get on the field for Carroll at that position if you don't do it. This time they get it to Gunter as a pass catcher. He gets a block from Knowles. and is forced out of bounds along the Trojan sideline, but a flag comes out on the play. This may be coming back.
It's a physical group. You play hard, you play physical, it's going to happen from time to
Holding
time.
on the offense, number 10. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
So it'll be first and longer for Carroll here with just over 11 minutes to go in regulation. Brought Boyd, the lone receiver, on the right side of the set for the Dragons at the bottom of your screen. Matched up with John Meredith, the 6'3 junior corner. Penn gets it on first down, gets forward to the 50-yard line. Pyle's still moving forward for a couple of bonus yards on the back end. Gets him back to the original line of scrimmage at nearly the 48-yard line of the Trojans.
Get behind the big guys up front. Let's lean on this defensive line of Trinity. Great job by the whole group and just pushing the pile.
We talked about the size of all four lines during our pregame show today, but it seems like this Carroll offensive line has gotten pretty good push on these Trojan defensive linemen who've got a little bit of weight on them. Renda looks to throw. Has a little time down the left sideline looking for Knowles. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, you haven't seen it be pushed a lot, but when the name has been called, they've executed. There's been a lot of opportunity in this Carroll passing game, just from what the defense is giving them. And they're going to go with that. They can get 5 to 6 yards in the flats every single time that they want, and they're going to that all game.
And Mackey's been a big target for Renda tonight. Haven't taken as many shots downfield, although 2 of the touchdown passes have come on big plays to Knowles and to Boyd. But a lot of the passing game has come laterally for the Dragons tonight. 3rd and long. Jacquemart motions out. They give it to Penn. Bounces it out. Short side of the field. He's going to have the first down and step out of bounds. Flag comes in on the back side of the play. Thrown by the referee.
Holding on the offense, number 84. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains first down.
We've seen more penalties tonight than in any game so far this season for the Dragons. A couple of holding calls on this series alone.
Yeah, you see that when you have physical teams, 2 physical teams. You try to get the best of them, and again, that's just sometimes these penalties, these holdings are you got to be in the right position. You're playing against players that are higher caliber, and what you got away with in week 1 and week 2 is not going to fly here in week 4.
3rd and 21. Carroll's got to get to the Trinity 38-yard line. They'll throw it to Gunter. Gets across midfield, breaks a tackle across the 40. He's going to get the first down and then some inside the 30, and another flag comes out at the 21-yard line. And Carroll's coaching staff cannot believe it.
It's tough. I know what they're upset about. A great play by Blake Gunter. You can't refute the effort he had, and it looks like they're going to get the perimeter receiver there on the hold or possible block in the back. As you see the bodyguard, Coach Castleberry.
There's no foul on the play. The result of the play is the first down.
It says fired up, as we've seen Riley Dodge on the sideline in a while. But they end up.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
They end up picking up the flag.
Oh, just tremendous job by Blake Gunter.
He went all the way into the end zone. They said the result of the play was a first down, did they not? Thought he may have gone out of bounds at one point, but they're going to say he got into the end zone. So this is a touchdown for the Dragons, and they're up 43-6 now. That was a 59-yard touchdown catch and run by Blake Gunter on 3rd and forever. Gavin Strange on for the extra point. It is up and through after the touchdown, brought to you by Kim Bedwell Luxury Real Estate. Point afters tonight presented by CLC Roofing. And with 10:10 to go in the fourth quarter, it is Carroll all over Trinity, 44-6 on the Dragons Sports Network.
Hey, Dragons, athletes, fans, and champions of all kinds. I'm Dr. Isabel Lopez at Life's Medicine, and my team and I are here to help you feel, recover, and perform at your absolute best. From guided weight loss to hormone balance, we create a personalized game plan for peak health. Boost your recovery with cryotherapy, recharge with red light therapy, and fuel your body with our powerful slim shots. Don't just cheer from the sidelines. Step into your own strongest and healthiest self. Visit us and let's build your winning season, both on and off the field, at Life's Medicine, where health meets performance. Go Dragons!
We come back. Let's take another look at this touchdown reception by Blake Gunter.
Again, it's just all effort by Blake Gunter. We saw him in the play before, pancaking the corner there on a self-sacrificing play, but then Blake just takes it to the house. Incredible job by Blake Gunter. You know, that is a small play, and that's all effort. Again, Dragons, if you're sitting at home, it's effort, effort, effort.
So there was initially a thrown flag where Brock Boyd was blocking downfield. They pick it up, and it results in the touchdown reception for Gunter. Carroll up 44-6. Gavin Strange will kick it away. And this is out of the end zone for another touchback. All replays tonight brought to you by Recoat Revolution. Dustless wood floor refinishing. So I don't think this was necessarily the result or place in the game where many observers thought we would be tonight, but Carroll has come out, and we've talked about how sharp the Dragons have been all season, and that's really showing up here tonight against one of the top teams in the state.
It really has, and it's a testament to the staff, just Coach Dodge and Coach Munn, and all the assistants, that the preparation of the week. And you know, those sitting at home, you don't know how many hours goes in each week on breaking down film, understanding tendencies, and developing the game plan.
Ace Slavin in on the stop on that first down carry for the Trojans. In the last couple of weeks, we told you last week that Carroll was preaching physicality in practice. Can only imagine that there was a similar message this week, knowing the battle that was going to go on at the line of scrimmage tonight.
Oh, 100%. You know, you're going to have to, it's a sacrificing game where, you know, you sacrifice yourself in for your teammate. It's not an easy game, but it is one you can learn from. And again, Riley talks a lot about, you know, practicing how you're going to play, and he's really trying to get this team, who has a lot of expectations on him, Chris, to get that culture there every week and not look past opponents.
Keandre Dixon on that carry, tackled by 5 or 6 different Dragon defenders. There is a Carroll player down at the end of this play. Staff out to take a look at him and quickly getting to his feet. For the Dragons is Austin Trend. It'll be third down coming up for the Trojans here. Trinity 4 for 10 on third down tonight. Dixon in the game at running back. Lineweaver looking to throw. Going to take a deep shot down the middle of the field. Just overthrows his tight end. Fia had a step down the center of the field, but it falls incomplete.
Yeah, one of the best routes that I've seen Trinity run. Got behind the secondary and just off a little bit by Mac Lineweaver. It's been a tough day for this Trinity offense. You know, you had the second group of the Dragons in there. Again, we've seen them come in throughout the year so far and done an excellent job and great job in getting this offense off the field.
This was a Trinity offense that last year in this game put up well over 500 yards. But it's been a struggle tonight. Sir Mims on the punt it away. A whistle before the ball was snapped.
Timeout, Carroll. It's their first timeout of the half.
Riley Dodge opts to take a timeout here, brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. We will take a break as well with 8:56 to go in the fourth. It's Carroll 44 and Trinity 6 on the Dragon Sports Network.
Hey, Dragon fans, this is Robert Clayton with the Clayton team at Clayton Real Estate. Karen Young and I have been proudly serving Southlake for over 30 years in residential resale, family owned and operated, and former Dragons. Being a Dragon graduate, you truly understand what it means to be a Dragon. Tradition, excellence, and a winning team. That's what we provide our clients, the best service and experience in the industry with a winning tradition. Dragons representing Dragons. Call us today at 817-894-4152 or visit us on the web at www.dragonrealtors.com. Go Dragons.
Trinity to punt it away here on fourth down, backed up at their own 29-yard line. Sir Mims, the punter for the Trojans, kicks it away to Parker Harris, who calls for a fair catch at the Dragon 41-yard line, and more good field position coming up for Carroll here.
It looks like you have a regime change again.
Yep.
The second team offense, 55 left tackle, Carlos Galindo. Clayton Johnson, number 68, a left guard. Christian Gonzalez at center. Robbie Collins, number 66, at right guard. And then Hudson Hibbs at right tackle. I'm sorry, Nick Wilson is at right tackle.
Preston Perazzo in at quarterback. Harrison Phillips, the running back. New set of receivers in as well as Perazzo gets ready to take the first down snap. Going to keep it himself on the ground. Running off left tackle. Big hole and flipped up at midfield. Hard run by the senior quarterback to move the chains for a Dragon Den first down.
We said it every week. We love Preston, what he brings to the table. I think if there's one guy on this team that I think Coach Dodge has 100% confidence in on the second team is Preston. He absolutely loves him. He brings a fiery edge to this offense. He's a competitor, and it shows on the field.
Receivers out there for the Dragons now. Cade Holmstrom, Carter O'Neill, Dalton Tade, and Rafael Otoya. First down, just into Trinity territory. Phillips is going to get it. Still working his way forward across the 45-yard line to the 43.
You love seeing Harrison Phillips in there. He's that guy at the start of the year, was multiple reps as Davis was getting better. He's a guy who has a huge future for the Dragons. He's a north and south guy. He's a hard runner. Only a sophomore, Chris. He's going to be around the program for a long time.
Had a great game in the season opener against Midland. Already on the year over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Carroll will be content to use as much play clock as it can here in the fourth quarter, as Perazzo going to keep it again. Had Phillips as a lead blocker, but is going to be hit and stopped at the line of scrimmage.
So, Chris, if you're out there in the state of Texas and you had a question about this Dragon team or where they're at, has it been answered tonight in some sorts?
Oh, absolutely. I thought that was a rhetorical.
Yes, I do like to answer my own questions.
But But we've talked pregame about how sharp they've looked so far this season. And, you attribute a lot of that to having guys with this experience to where you're not in practice teaching quite as much, and you can really hone in. Big hit in the backfield here on third down as Harrison Phillips is hit hard by Sir Mims, one of those starting linebackers for the Trojans.
Yeah, huge hit by Sir Mims. Again, phenomenal job just coming in and just laying the stick. That's a decleater there for Sir Mims. He's a name we've called a lot tonight. He's doing a great job on the edge there, the outside linebacker for the Trojans.
And check that was Emerson Zadie in at running back for the Dragons on that play. But Carroll, I think tonight has looked sharp in all three phases of the game. Special teams has looked as good as it has all season for the Dragons.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's always, there's learning blocks and there's building blocks after each game. And
delay of game on the offense, number 8, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
But like I was saying, I think there's still learning opportunities. This is a team that each week they gain experience for the ultimate goal, and the first goal is to win the district championship and then play on Thanksgiving and then be state champions. And that's a goal. They know the expectations that are on them this year. And I'll tell you what, this is a big statement tonight against the number 8 team in the state.
Harris gets this one away. Dragons down it inside the Trinity 20. And Trojans offense comes back out with 5.5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Well, Carroll, like last season, schedule just flipped venues, but has now taken on 2 teams that made the playoffs in the district a year ago in Byron Nelson and Trinity. And the scores are statements for the Dragons as Dixon gets the carry on first down, going to be hit at the 21-yard line and taken down.
And really every team they played this year, Chris, was a playoff team from last year.
Yep.
And so not only have they won, but they won convincingly. And tonight is no other than the weeks before. I think with anything, you saw how good this defense is and how good they're going to be throughout the year. And that's a testament to Coach Munn and what he does, with the players week in and week out. And I mentioned earlier, this is the preparation these coaches do. Chris, the hours they work up there, I can't tell you. Sometimes I would even get it past them, but they're sleeping up there at times for preparation. So not a lot of people see what goes on the weekends and the weekdays and the sacrifice. So they have a goal. They have a mission this year, and they're trying to get that accomplished.
Third down coming up here for the Trojans. Some of the other games in District 4-6A tonight. LD Bell at home against Keller holds them off 31-28, scoring the last 10 points of the game. It's a fake punt, they drop back and pass and complete the third down conversion. I'm all out of sorts at this point, Robert.
It's okay, Chris.
The Lineweaver completes this one to move the chains. It's Nehemias Bachelar in the game at fullback on that one. Lineweaver keeps it on the ground this time. This is Dixon across the 40-yard line.
That's one player I thought tonight would get more involved would be Keandre Dixon, but it's been the JT Harris show. Pulling away, I think really showing that he is the bell cow of this offense. They're going to lean on him going forward. This will be an interesting matchup with Trinity and Byron Nelson. I believe they play next week. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
another handoff. Dixon trying to bounce it outside on the left across midfield, 45, and run out of bounds there by the Dragons. Forcing him out was Gavin Gooden. At Northwest ISD Stadium tonight, Northwest hosting Eaton. That is a 1-point game in the fourth quarter. Eaton up 31-30. And Keller Central up on Timber Creek 28-21 in the fourth quarter. The other three games going on right now in District 4-6A. First down for the Trojans. Lineweaver, the handoff. They keep it on the ground up to the 40-yard line.
Number 15, Marcus Turner.
Goes Marcus Turner, the junior running back. Trinity keeping Lineweaver in the game, but running on several different backs and receivers here late in the fourth.
They saw their first O-line in as well. They're not giving the break, even to their guys, Tua and Chandler. That, those are the stalwarts of that offensive line.
It's still Turner in the game at running back. He gets the pitch going out right side. Great tackle in the backfield made by the Dragons.
Trent Fergal. I tell you, he's another player that is just improving each and every week, and he's going to be a Dragon staple for the years to come. And just watch him, fight through here. Huge tackle. And this isn't easy coming down from, safety spot there and making the tackle. He's another young man. I remember him from my DYF team. He's a DYF alumni and coached him as well. He was a terrific football player.
Well, that play will take us down to the 2-minute timeout in the second half.
Timeout, Trinity. That's their first timeout of the half.
We'll take the timeout as well. 2 minutes to go. Timeout brought to you by Dragon Special Olympics. It's Carroll up 44-6 on Trinity on the Dragon Sports Network.
Looking for a roofer who truly knows Southlake? My name is Chad Cross, owner of CLC Roofing, a longtime Southlake resident who's proud to serve this community. For decades, we have protected Dragon Country with roofs built to handle the scorching sun, sudden hail, and high winds, all while keeping your homes looking beautiful. CLC Roofing proudly supports the Carroll ISD, the Carroll Booster Club, and local events. Supporting Southlake is part of who we are. We know every HOA standard, city code, and neighborhood nuance because we live here too. When the storm hits, we're not hours away. We're already in your community, ready to help the moment you need us. Our crews are safety certified and led by project managers who always focus on details. From minor repairs to full replacements, we bring expert craftsmanship and clear communication to every project. We only install top-tier roofing materials, and as an Owens Corning Platinum Preferred contractor, we can offer extended warranties most roofers cannot, because trust and quality go hand in hand. Protect the tradition, Southlake.
On the first play out of the timeout, Trinity completes a long pass to Kevin Chroma, junior wide receiver. Makes the catch along the near sideline, but there was a flag down on the play.
After the play, unnecessary roughness on the offense, number 57, 15 yards from the dead ball spot, first down.
So it's going to be called on Leonte Chandler, the senior, going to Rice after that long completion by the Trojans.
I think this is where, if you're Coach Lineweaver, you've got to start pulling some of these guys out who've played all game and get the frustration out and know that the opportunity comes next week against Byron, and there's no reason to have your guys like Leonte Chandler in there. You don't want anything foolish to happen.
Dixon on the ground with it. He's going to be pushed back. They'll give him forward progress of about a yard to the 42-yard line. For the Dragons next week, it is a Thursday game at Timber Creek. So make our first trip over to Keller ISD Stadium. Lineweaver looking to throw, has a man caught across the 30-yard line and dragged down there by Weston Duffy.
Yeah, a little out route by Garrett Toole there. And again, letting these matchups with Mac Lineweaver and get some passing experience here, we're seeing a little bit more, I would say, rhythm from Mac here, getting an opportunity to get the ball down the field.
Keep it on the ground again as we go under a minute to play in the game. First down for Dixon and out of bounds along the Trojan sideline.
You see the explosion by Keandre Dixon. We mentioned a little bit in pregame what he brings to the table, and they're so deep on that backfield, and they're so explosive. But, there was a lot of talk about Keandre Dixon being, a really, really good back here. And I feel J.T. Harris is the dude on this team. And they got him out of the game now, but he's the guy they're going to lean on come playoff time.
So 46 seconds to go. Trinity trying to get into the end zone one more time. Lineweaver under pressure, and he's sacked. Trent Fergal gets there first. Another big play by the sophomore safety. Sacks tonight brought to you by Life's Medicine.
We're just talking about Trent Fergal, what he brings to the game. Watch him here on this blitz. Terrific job, no hesitation. Eyes are locked in on the quarterback. Great job finishing it, getting around the waist, getting to the legs, bringing them down. Trent Fergal, tremendous job on getting the sack, young man.
Trinity does have to snap the ball one more time. There's about a half-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. Lineweaver going to throw incomplete along the Trojan sideline. They were trying to set up a screen. The linemen were all out there, but there was not a back ready to catch the ball. They may get an intentional grounding on this. They just dropped a flag late.
I think you have to. That's what you saw Mac yelling at Keandre Dixon. Where were you at?
With 5 seconds left, one more penalty, maybe emblematic of this one for the Trojans.
Ineligible downfield on the offense, 76 and 53. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains third down.
Probably could have called ineligible on one or two others as well. But this will likely be the final snap of the game. 5 seconds to go for Trinity here. The Dragons trying to finish off a big win. Lineweaver under pressure. Gets a block, has time, slings it toward the end zone. It is going to be intercepted by the Dragons. Running along the left sideline, DeMarcus Ware Jr. with the pick to end the game for Carroll. The fourth takeaway by this Dragon defense tonight, and ends the game with an exclamation point.
The freshman is going to remember that. DeMarcus Ware Jr., that's a name you're going to hear for quite a few years in this Dragon football team. A way to put an exclamation point on this victory versus the Trinity Trojans. Excellent, excellent showing by the Dragon defense.
Turnovers tonight brought to you by Paragon Designs. Turn over your next home remodel or new home design to Paragon Designs. So Dragons make a statement tonight with a 44-6 win over the Trinity Trojans. Came into the game as the 8th ranked team in the state. Carroll goes to 4-0 on the season. Trinity falls to 3-1 on the year. We'll take a timeout, come back and wrap this one up from Dragon Stadium in just a moment. You're watching Carroll football on the Dragon Sports Network.
Southlake Dermatology offers specialized acne regimens using a combination of prescriptions and procedures that are covered by insurance. The Specialized Acne Treatment Center offers a full range of services with access to samples and rebates that are only available through a dermatologist. Our office is on the 3rd floor of the Southlake Medical Building, attached to Methodist Hospital off of 114. Find us on Facebook or search our website at southlakedermatology.com.
Looking for a place the whole family will love? Come check out Champions Club at the Mark Southlake. Conveniently located off Southlake Boulevard in Bicentennial Park, Champions Club is your local, safe, and fun destination for fitness, play, and connection. From state-of-the-art workout spaces and exciting group fitness classes to our aquatic center, indoor courts, and party rentals, there's something for everyone. Make Champions Club your home for health, recreation, and family fun. Join today and discover what it means to live like a champion. Go Dragons!
For mission-critical business litigation in Texas, business owners and executives trust Sean McCaskill and the law firm of Godwin Bowman PC. My wife Laura and I are 20-year residents of Southlake and the proud parents of 4 Dragons. I've been a dedicated volunteer in Southlake for the past 13 years, including serving 7 years on Southlake City Council. I'm the president and managing shareholder at Godwin Bowman, which was established in Dallas in 1980 to serve clients with business litigation issues all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. I've been with the firm for over 20 years, and I'm board certified in civil appellate law by the Texas Board of Legal Specialization. Please consider me, Sean McCaskill, and the law firm of Godwin Bowman for your business litigation needs. Please visit our website at www.godwinbowman.com for more information. I promise you that we'll provide big city experience together with small town service.
Hello, Dragon fans. It's no secret, Southlake Carroll students have a long history of success. Protect the Tradition speaks to the success Carroll students have achieved in the past, both on and off the field. Games aren't won on game day. It's hours and hours of practice, working together, and trust in the process that builds confidence that leads our students to achieve extraordinary results. Like the Dragons, our team at Mills Wealth has a long history of success. We're celebrating our 25th year anniversary of helping clients make wise decisions about money. If we can help you, check us out online at millswealthadvisors.com.
Final score tonight at Dragon Stadium, Carroll 44 and Trinity 6. As we welcome you back to tonight's broadcast, brought to you by White's Chapel Methodist Church, Chris Blake and Robert Clayton, as we get a look at some of the final stats in this one, courtesy of our statistician tonight, Monty Clegg. For Angelo Renda, the efficiency continues, 17 of 21 for 270 yards and 3 touchdowns, 1 each to Brock Boyd, Blake Gunter, and Brody Knowles. Seems like those 3 guys each get into the end zone almost every week. On the ground, Renda adds a couple of more rushing scores, but the leading rusher tonight for the Dragons, Davis Penn, 10 carries for 46 yards. Brooks Biggers had 6 for 30 and a touchdown. Through the air, Brock Boyd, 8 catches for 90 yards and that 1 touchdown, as I mentioned. 5 catches for Caden Mackey for 52 yards, 3 for Gunter for 75 yards and a touchdown. Knowles had the 1 36-yard touchdown reception. Carroll holds Trinity to just 79 yards passing and holds the Trojans to 5 of 13 on 3rd down. Trinity did get some on the ground. JT Harris had a big night for him, 21 carries for 118 yards. But Robert, overall, Carroll, when you just look at the scoreboard, 44-6 against the 8th-ranked team in the state, a matchup that we, bill as one of the big rivalries in Texas high school football, and Carroll, I believe, gets its biggest win ever over the Trojans.
Yeah, I think not that it had to be a statement game, but I think it was circled by a lot of people across the Metroplex and the state were watching this game. Are the Dragons for real? Are they able? Was Byron Nelson just a fluke last week? Was it because they're having a down year? A depleted Midland team, a Hebron team that's replacing a quarterback. You go on, but all they can do is face the opponents that are on their schedule. And, not to say it's light work that is being performed by the Dragons, but they're executing at a very high level. And I don't know if there's a team right now you can put in front of them that, they're not going to execute on all cylinders. So I think across the Metroplex and the state, people took notice tonight.
The win is also number 97 for Riley Dodge in his career. This is his 8th year as the head coach at Carroll High School. 97-9 is on track to get to 100 wins during the regular season. He's never won fewer than 9 regular season games. So history would tell you that that milestone would come before the playoffs this year.
It looks like it would possibly track at Northwest if it was to continue. What an accomplishment for Riley Dodge. And a lot of people out there listening, there's not a coach in the state of Texas that, with the record that he's done so far, there's only been a few that have maybe got there faster. I think, off the top of my head, maybe Katie's coach got there faster for 100 wins. But I tell you what, it is a hard feat to make. And when you talk about Dragon coaches overall and what he's approaching, I believe he's already surpassed his father, Todd Dodge, for wins at Carroll, I believe. That might not be right. I'll double check that, but I think that's right.
Just throwing guesses into the universe.
Well, I can double check because I did do the stat the other day, and Todd was at I'll tell you this: Todd was at 98 wins, and he's at 97 right now. Correct? So it would surpass his father and his not his legacy, but just the wins he got, and so. Tremendous job, we're tracking what Riley's doing.
You see Carroll players and their families celebrating on the field after this big win over the Trojans. It was a game in which Trinity committed a lot of penalties, had several turnovers, but to the Dragons' credit, they capitalized on those mistakes and turned them into points more often than not, coming away with a big-time win. So next week, Carroll is on the road in a place they know well at Keller ISD Athletic Complex, just down the road from Carroll High School. It will be a Thursday game next week. Dragons taking on Timber Creek. That one is a 7 o'clock start. We will be on the air with the Clayton & Clayton Real Estate pregame show starting at 6:30. So for our whole crew here in Southlake tonight, our director Tim Polster, statistician Monty Clegg, and for Robert Clayton, Chris Blake saying goodnight from Dragon Stadium, where Carroll wins 44-6. Tonight's broadcast brought to you by White's Chapel Methodist Church. We will talk to you next week on the Dragon Sports Network.
This week's Dragon football broadcast has been brought to you by White's Chapel United Methodist Church, Feed Store Barbecue, Kim Bedwell Briggs Freeman Sotheby's, Godwin Bowman PC, The Baker Firm Fidelity National Title, Recoat Revolution, The Mark Southlake, Life's Medicine, Clayton & Clayton Real Estate, Hearst Autoplex, Southlake Dermatology, CLC Roofing, Patriot Mobile, The Dragon Den, and Mills Wealth Management. Thanks for joining us, and go Dragons.